Pac-12 after dark. Washington State trying to stay unbeaten in Pac-12 play at Oregon State. Clay Matvick on the call.
Moulton ran him out. Welcome to Corvallis, Oregon. Washington State on the road tonight, trying to stay perfect in the Pac-12. Cougars looking for their first 5-0 league start in 14 years. Washington, of course, won earlier today at Utah. They're 5-0, so the Cougars trying to keep pace in the North, taking on Oregon State here tonight. The Beavers have had a tough time staying healthy. They're down to their third-string quarterback, Marcus McMaryion. But on the opening series, has him deep in Cougars territory. Swings it out to Seth Collins, complete short game. Alongside Dusty Dvorak, I'm Clay Matvick. Alex Cordry down on the field tonight. Big night for the Cougars here on the road.
Yes, it is. You know, they got this hot start going, 5 straight wins, 4-0 in Pac-12 play, first time since 2003. They want to keep that going, keep this momentum rolling here on the road in Corvallis tonight against an Oregon State team that's hungry for another victory.
Ryan Nall in the backfield for Oregon State. Got hurt in the first quarter against Utah a couple weeks back with a foot injury. Did not play last week. And he'll get the carry here. And he's going to be bottled up. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing beyond that. It's going to bring up third down. This is a run defense, Dusty, that ranks second in the Pac-12, allowing just 106 yards rushing per game.
They've been fantastic up front. These guys have done a great job with penetration, a lot of movement by the defensive line, playing the other side of the ball. And they've taken pride in taking away opposing offense's rushing attack. Held Stanford to 61, UCLA to 43. It's the heart and soul of this defense.
Oregon State has had a tough time on third down, 37%. Last in the Pac-12. 8th play of the series. McMaryion looks right, comes back left, through the hands of Seth Collins and nearly picked off. Darian Moulton, the cornerback, almost came away with the pick.
Well, it's the tunnel screen right there to Seth Collins. Pass is too high. It's on his hands. You'd like for him to come down with it. But, oh, almost a gift right there for Washington State. And Darian Moulton, missed opportunity. They had that set up. The pass wasn't delivered on time. Washington State gets a stop.
Series dries up. Garrett Owens on from 45 yards. The field goal attempt is no good. Well, 4 of his 5 misses this year have been from 45 yards or beyond. And a nice series there for a while, but it stalls out.
They got it moving offensively, Oregon State, but as you said, it stalled out. Washington State with a big stop and a missed field goal.
Homecoming night here in Corvallis. Oregon State comes up empty in its opening series, missing a 45-yard field goal. Mike Leach and the Cougars air raid, ready to get it for the first time. This is the second of 2 straight road games for Washington State. There's Luke Falk, 6'4", 216 junior out of Logan, Utah. Third-year starter, statistically among the best quarterbacks in the country the last couple of years. Always plays well against Oregon State. Amazing numbers the last 2 games against the Beavers. First play is a pass out to Gabe Marks, his steady senior from Venice, California. That's catch number 276 in his career.
It's a lot of what they do. Ball gets out of Falk's hands quick right there on the bubble, and good job blocking out in front by River Craycraft for a nice gain on first down.
Craycraft and Marks, what a tandem they have made throughout their careers. A couple of running backs. They give it to James Williams, his first touch of the night, and he is spun down after a short gain. Williams might be the best at rushing the football. Bring up third down for Washington State. 47% conversion rate for the Cougars. That's second in the Pac-12 behind Washington.
You mentioned James Williams, dynamic runner, very compact, well built, probably the best running back running the football in the backfield, but they've got 3 different guys that do a lot of good things, and third and short, they've ran it quite a bit here this season.
They want to throw it. Pressure picked up, dumped off short. That's Jamal Morrow, but it's incomplete. It skipped into his hands, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Fox short hops went out in the flats to Jamal Morrow. A quick drive ending in a punt for Washington State.
Here's Kyle Sweet, sophomore wide receiver. They bring him on to rugby-style punt on occasion. And Victor Bolden back deep. He had a kick return touchdown against Boise earlier this year. He's back on punt team 2. Sails over his head. He's going to play it on the bounce at the 13. And he's hemmed to the sideline and run out of bounds. There's a marker on the field with 9:23 to go here in the first quarter. 52-yard punt. We'll see what the penalty's about. Might be a late hit. Seeing more and more of that rugby-style punting to neutralize return weapons like Bolden. There's Michael Batlin, our referee tonight. This might be a penalty against Oregon State, a late hit.
Okay, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 25 on the receiving team, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
That's Jalen Bailey. That's the 2nd time he's been penalized tonight already.
ESPN College Football is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And in part by Buick, proud partner of the NCAA.
Celebrating Oregon State homecoming. They're also celebrating the 1942 Rose Bowl championship team tonight. 75th anniversary. We're seeing special helmets, the logo painted battleship gray. And 1942 Rose Bowl. That was moved to the East Coast for fear of another attack by the nation of Japan. Remember, Pearl Harbor happened only days earlier. Oregon State beat Duke that year 20-16. Look at those jackets. Those are sharp.
Good looking Letterman jacket. We gonna get ours, Clay?
I haven't seen one yet.
Oh.
Only Rose Bowl in the 103 years of the event not played in Pasadena. Oregon State going back to work on offense. Missed a 45-yard field goal on their opening series.
False start.
And another penalty. 4th against Oregon State.
Yeah.
73 offense, 5-yard penalty, makes 1st down.
So right tackle Blake Brandel. Planning for success brought to us by Northwestern Mutual.
Yeah, you know, Washington State's got to continue to have efficiency in the passing game. It's the crux of what they do. We'll talk about how they run the football better, how they stop the run better. But at their core, this is a football team that has to be efficient in their passing game. And for Oregon State, you got to lean on Ryan Nall. They got to get big up front. Can't put too much on their young quarterback, Marcus McMaryion, and run the football effectively here tonight if they're going to pull the upset and get a win at home.
Standing at the 1-yard line, Marcus McMaryion swings it out to Victor Bolden. He's dangerous in space. Got to the edge. And he's tackled at the 10-yard line by Isaac Dotson, the weak side linebacker. Bring up 2nd down.
Gotta like how they're getting Victor Bolden involved early and often, different ways. We've seen him now pass it to him right there in the flats twice, hit him on a sweep, and throw a pass to him down the field. Victor Bolden, the most explosive, dynamic playmaker on this Oregon State offense. They've been saying all year, we need to get him more touches. Well, they're getting him his touches here early on tonight.
Now, the wide receiver corps just hasn't been a strength tonight. Injuries have certainly played a part in that. Ryan Nall up the middle. He could go. Gone. Ryan Nall with the touchdown. No signs of a sore foot there. He takes it 90 yards to the house. Man, are they glad to have him back. Didn't have him last week. They got blown out by Washington. He said if he's even close to 100%, he's going to be our guy tonight. Well, he has been so far. Out of the Oregon State backfield as Garrett Owens tacks on the extra point. 7-0 Beavers.
Huge play right there for Ryan Nall in the Oregon State offense, but it's all about the offensive line. Center, guard, you're going to have this defensive tackle come in, and they pass it off well. You'll see the center work up to the backer and work right here, and they open up a huge hole in the middle of that offense. Gavin Andrews is center. Dustin Stanton, the right guard, open up a huge hole for Ryan Nall, and it's off to the races, and a big touchdown for the Beavers.
Here's another look, full speed. Nall, 3 weeks ago against Cal, he had a career-high 221 and 3 touchdowns. Then the next week got hurt. First quarter against Utah, missed last week. But the last time he played at home, he went nuts. And he's out to a good start tonight.
221 against Cal. They ran for over 440 in that game. And you're exactly right, partner. Off to a good start for the big running back, Ryan Nall, in this Oregon State offense.
We talked about the anemic offense for Oregon State. They haven't had a lot of big explosive plays. At times the longest drive of the year. Third longest in Oregon State history. Now on the return, this is Robert Taylor. And he stopped short of the 20. Let's get an update in the studio.
I'm Chris Hassel with Coach Butch Davis. And how electric, Coach, has Dalvin Cook been? Look at him get the corner and go.
Yeah, let me just tell you something. We are seeing Dalvin Cook at his best. We saw him early in the game run over somebody for a touchdown. Now the home run with the speed.
Florida State by 8, heading to the 4th on ABC.
Thanks, fellas. You know, road test Saturday. Unbeatens have gone down to a 4 so far. Is Clemson going to join them?
Sure looks like it early on in that 4th quarter. Boy, Florida State there in Tallahassee came to play tonight.
A road test for Washington State, too. Trying to stay unbeaten in the Pac-12. They're down a touchdown here in the first quarter. This is Jamal Morrow. Of course, the running backs in the Mike Leach air raid, they've got to catch the football, but you've already touched on it a bit, Dusty. They've been doing a good job running the ball this year.
They have. You know, for a Mike Leach team, they throw it a lot. But they've really leaned on this veteran offensive line. They've bulked up, and they're playing much more physical, utilizing these running backs. But it's not just running the football with these guys. All 3 running backs, Wicks, Morrow, Williams, all these guys run it as well as catch it, Clay.
That's caught by the receiver, River Craycraft. Yeah, they lead the Pac-12 with 22 touchdowns by the running back. 17 have come on the ground.
Yeah, think about it. Last year, they had 8 rushing touchdowns, 17 rushing touchdowns this year. They make it a point to get all these guys, all of them making huge impacts this season.
After the first down play, on first down, it's Gabe Marks with the catch. He's down to a handful of games left in his career at Washington State. And they've picked up the tempo here. Second down and about 3. That's thrown by Falk to the sideline, and Marks plucked it out of the air. That is a catch. Nice play by Gabe Marks to get it back into Oregon State territory.
Boy, a toe tap right here by Gabe Marks. He climbs the ladder, goes up and gets it, and he gets the feet in bounds. Great play right there by the senior wide receiver, Gabe Marks.
Second all-time in the Pac-12 in receptions. 14-yard gain. Well, they're going to... Oh, he didn't hold on to it. They're going to overturn this. And they're marking it back at the line of scrimmage. The 43-yard line, so a break for Oregon State.
He's got to complete the catch. The defender, you can see, got a little elbow on the football. Jalen Moore forces the incompletion.
The officials have had issues tonight. There's just been a lot of confusion here to start this game.
Yeah, starting with, they called 2 holding penalties on the defense.
Now when they went against the offense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So now it's going to be looked at by the replay official, Jerry Meyerhoff, as this is being challenged by Mike Leach. Pretty good look right there. Does it appear that he completed the catch, Dusty?
No, that ball comes out. Goes up, great job catching with his hands. Then as he goes to the ground, he's got to complete the process of the catch, and clearly that ball comes out. You would think this would be pretty simple to look at. Gets the 2 feet in. That ball's moving.
Jalen Moore put a pretty good hit on him, too, to help jar it loose.
Gave a little forearm shiver to Gabe Marks, and Gabe Marks unable to hold on to the football.
Well, if it is incomplete, it'll be 3rd down and 3. Ruling on the field, incomplete pass. It's got to be indisputable
After
video
review,
evidence.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver lost possession of the ball while going to the ground. Washington State is charged with a timeout, and they have no further challenges throughout the game.
So Mike Leach uses his challenge early and comes up empty. You know, he should have had Jamal Morrow do the challenge. He's the lucky one on that team.
I don't even know if Jamal Morrow's luck could have got that call changed. That was a clear incompletion.
There he is, number 25. He is the captain because he's so good at winning the coin toss. He won it again tonight, by the way. He's won it 6 out of the last 8 weeks going back to last year. We'll talk more about that as the game wears on.
Good spot right here for River Craycraft. 3rd and medium.
Falk cocks his arm, fires complete to Gabe Marks. 1st down, Washington State. He completed that in a really tight cylinder.
Yeah, quick pass. Very tight window. He comes back to the boundary. His go-to guy, Gabe Marks, on a quick slant, in-cutting route. Boy, good coverage, better throw and catch by Washington State.
Marks 3 catches already, 21 yards. Morrow in the backfield, but Falk again throws. Little bubble screen out there, complete to Tavares Martin, having a terrific sophomore year. He'll get a handful. 2nd down and 7.
A lot of what they do, balls out quick, out on the perimeter, allow their guys out in space. Pretty well defended right there by Oregon State.
Falk hit 11 different receivers last week in Tempe in that win over Arizona State, but now the left guard move.
False start. 75 offense. 5-yard penalty. Main 2nd down.
B.J. Salmonson getting the start at left guard tonight. Cody O'Connell, their regular starter at the position, nicked up tonight. Didn't get the call to start.
First time this starting 5 nucleus has not all been intact this season. Coming into tonight, all 5 starters had started every game.
2nd and a dozen. Falk from a clean pocket, got it downfield off the hand of the intended receiver, John Thompson. The senior wideout couldn't come up with it. So now 3rd down and long.
Good job with protection right there. They brought the corner blitz. Jamal Morrow steps up, takes it on. Luke Falk, you see him put a little touch of that football up the seam. But 85 John Thompson unable to come down with it, setting up 3rd and long.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad pass. Falk with a 73% completion rate this year. Number 1 in the nation.
Showing blitz.
Now Falk checking the play. Here comes the pressure. Picked up. Dumped off short. Morrow. Well done by the Oregon State defense. 4th down. Jalen Moore again on the stop.
Well, they brought the blitz right there. Oregon State dials it up. They get enough pressure to just force the football out of Luke Falk's hand quickly. Jamal Morrow out in the flat. Oregon State rallies up and tackles and gets off the field. Nice stop right there by the Beaver defense.
Washington State, you talked about it, got out to that 0-2 start, have won their last 5, but they've not gotten out to a brisk start in this ball game here tonight in Corvallis. Kyle Sweet on to punt for the second time. Again, he's a rugby-style kicker. Fair catch called for by Victor Bolden. And he fields it at the 9. That's where Oregon State will have it when we come back. Here in Corvallis, they're celebrating that Rose Bowl championship of 75 years ago. Some great commemorative stuff. We'll talk about it when we come back. Monday Night Football. NFC North. Sam Bradford and the 5-1 Vikings and the Bears at Soldier Field. Jay Cutler is back. He missed 5 games with a thumb injury. 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's at 6. Vikings coming off their first loss last week at Philadelphia. Well, the difference in this football game, a Ryan Nall touchdown run of 89 yards on the last possession for Oregon State. They've got it again deep in their own territory. First down and 10 from their 10. Marcus McMaryion hands it off. This is Artavis Pierce, a true freshman running back. For more on Ryan Nall, let's go down to Alex Cordry.
We're going to ride him. He's our horse, says co-offensive coordinator TJ Woods when talking about Ryan Nall. You guys, last week he was sidelined with a left foot injury, but Nall told me the week off gave him a chance to get his foot right, his body healthy, and he's ready to go, which, as we're seeing tonight, the man they call Wrecking Nall is trying to do some damage.
We've talked about it. It's been a dysfunctional offense this year, mostly because of the injury. So happy to have Nall back tonight, and he's already made a huge impact. McMaryion swings it out, and what a timely hit by number 27 Marcellus Pippins, right into the breadbasket to jar that loose from Bolden.
Aggressive on the outside by Marcellus Pippins. You see the plant and drive come up and take away the flat route, and saw Victor Bolden in half. Big play by the corner.
You've talked about it a lot this year. You know, you don't see a lot of great hits by the defense anymore. This has become a more offensive game because of the rules. You got to celebrate a hit like that when you see it now.
Absolutely.
That was terrific. He's got 5 career picks on the year as well. A ball hawking corner as well as a headhunter. Thrown on the run by McMaryion off the hands of Hunter Jarman, the junior wideout. And a penalty flag as McMaryion got clobbered in the backfield. This might be a low hit, too. Number 55 is Derek Moore, the defensive end.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 55 defense, contact below the knee, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, low hits on the passer, no forcible contact versus the passer at the knee or below, even if he's making the wrap-up tackle, and you see right there, it doesn't look like he's going at him. He's trying to dive past him. He catches him with his leg. That draws a penalty. Say inadvertent contact, but still, they're trying to protect these quarterbacks.
Yep.
That's going to get the call every time.
Second penalty against Washington State. Spotted at 32 now, first down and 10. McMaryion looks right, comes back left. That's incomplete, second down. Well, the Oregon State Beavers' top 2 quarterbacks went out with injuries in the game against Utah. Garrettson, Daryl Garrettson, injured his ankle midway through the 4th quarter. He was carted off. Then, just a few plays later, the very next series, Connor Blount was sacked and carried off the field with an injured knee. I mean, just an awful situation. There you see Daryl Garrettson, who would be starting in this game if he were healthy. He's done for the season. Connor Blount probably available only in an emergency situation tonight. Artavis Pierce on the run. 3rd down and short as Taylor made the tackle.
Pierce finds a little sliver right there. It's a nice run on 2nd down.
Last week at Washington, Dusty, the Beavers only suited up 63 players, 7 fewer than allowed for road games. I mean, they missed guys who accounted for about 80% of their offense last week.
You know what I like, though, when talking to Gary Anderson and these coaches, they don't talk much about it, and they make no excuses, and they don't use these injuries as a crutch.
Here's Seth Collins running the Wildcat. The wide receiver takes off, tries to hurdle a tackler, and does, and picks up the first down. Collins, their number 2 receiver, started the first 7 games at quarterback last year, but struggled, so lost his job at that position. They've been slowly converting him to wide receiver, but he occasionally comes in as the Wildcat.
Wildcat also plays some running back, but wide receiver is going to be his new home. But as they put him in right there, really good patience, allowing the blocks to set up. He fights hard for a first down.
From the 43-yard line. 3:40 to go here, first quarter. McMarion going deep. Bolden came up with the catch. What a play by Victor Bolden. Down to the 19-yard line. And Oregon State back in the red zone after that 39-yard play.
Oregon State brings the blitz. McMarion gets it off, and wow, should have been defensive pass interference. Darian Moulton all over him, almost tackles him, and Victor Bolden comes down with a huge catch for the Beavers.
Already 80 yards for Bolden. Back to Nall. Nothing there. As he was shut down as he tried to go up the middle. No gain. Well, Marcus McMarion, we talked about it before. Only his 3rd career start. Got 1 start last year as a redshirt freshman in the Civil War game against Oregon. It didn't go well. But, you know, Gary Anderson told us this is a more veteran 3rd-string guy than a lot of teams have the luxury of throwing out there.
Yeah, there's no question. Last year, stepped in and played well. Last week, even though the result wasn't what they wanted, he managed the game well. He got the offenses in and out of plays. In a hostile territory in Seattle, they were happy with what they saw from Marcus McMarion.
He's got it on 2nd 10. Looks to throw. Does. Nall out of the backfield. Walking in. Touchdown. Wow. Nall with an 89-yard touchdown run and now a 19-yard touchdown reception. Extra point, Garrett Owens. And the Beavers have got the Cougars on their heels here in the first quarter.
Oregon State offensively is rolling right now. It's going to be a blitz. They're going to bring this linebacker. Peyton Pelluer has Ryan Nall in man-to-man coverage. They bring the blitz. Peyton Pelluer slides over. He knows he's got him. He can't get there. Not quite fast enough. Nice job by Marcus McMarion, recognizing the blitz, knowing he's got his running back out in the flats in man-to-man coverage. And the running back catches it, does the rest. Peyton Pelluer unable to get over there and keep up with the Beaver running back.
Talked about the struggles of the Oregon State offense throughout the year, but they're finding ways to get it done here so far.
I'm just impressed with Marcus McMarion. From the onset, they've given him nice, easy throws to get his confidence going. Victor Bolden's made some nice catches down the field. And Ryan Nall off to a hot start here in Corvallis tonight.
Oregon State already over 100 yards passing. They're last in the Pac-12. They average only 146, already 108 tonight for McMarion. Adley Rutschman with the kickoff. And this is Robert Taylor. Wow. Probably should have let that go out of bounds. Let's get a studio update with Chris.
It's our Scott Trey takeaway moment, and we've got a 2-point game now at FSU. Clemson cutting it to 2 on this Wayne Gallman touchdown plunge. The 2-point conversion was no good, so 11:19 to go. Florida State's got it again with a 2-point lead on ABC, fellas.
That's going to come down to the wire, I have a feeling.
No question. How about this here, though? Boy, Luke Falk, this Washington State offense, they got to wake up on this drive right here, backed up in their own territory play.
Worst starting field position for Washington State. They've got 44 yards of offense to show for their game so far. From the end zone, Falk bump, incomplete. Boy, this Oregon State team tonight is just on fire. They're buzzing.
Good coverage down the field. Falk surveys it. One thing he does so well, goes through all of his reads, and he did that. Tried to check it down to a crossing route. Hit as he throws. Pass not on target.
Shemaya Unatoa Whitson, the true freshman, outside linebacker with the pressure. On 2nd and 10. Falk dancing. Got rid of it. Complete. There's Gabe Marks. He's always the go-to guy in a tough situation.
Boy, he just made that happen right there. Oregon State drops 8, just rushed 3, 5 underneath in zone coverage, 3 over the top. And Gabe Marks, nothing there initially, but he finds that soft spot in the zone, and Luke Falk hits his target. This is where the Washington State rushing attack has been so big for them this season, picking up 3rd, 4th short down yardage right like this.
Another catch, 1st down. C.J. Dimry, the senior wideout. And that'll keep the drive alive out to the 24-yard line. Well, this college football season, stream every game live on the ESPN app and on Watch ESPN. Download the app or visit watchespn.com. It was a busy day again in college football. Hope you saw a lot of it. It has been a day of some upsets.
Upset Saturday, and Clay, we've got one brewing right here in Corvallis.
Washington State perfect in Pac-12 play, 4-0. But down a couple of touchdowns as Jamal Morrow gets the carry. He'll get a handful. All right, going back to Morrow, Leach made him team captain because he was on The Price is Right and got to the Showcase Showdown.
Right.
He thought, well, if he can do that, then he's going to go out and he's going to be my coin toss guy. And I'll be darned if Mike Leach hasn't been proven right. He's won more than he's lost. 2nd and 6. Ooh, that was a bad pass and nearly intercepted. Intended for Tavares Martin. But coverage by Haley. Here is Jamal spinning the wheel back in 2013.
That's outstanding stuff right there. And he's been unbelievable on the coin toss. I mean, he won it again here tonight. 7-1 in coin tosses since Mike Leach named him captain. It's good stuff. Only Mike Leach would go to The Price is Right to name his captain. Big 3rd down here for the Cougar offense.
Yeah, they could use Morrow's luck here. 41 seconds to go in the quarter. It is Morrow. And he's got the 1st down. How about that? Right on cue. Here was tonight's coin toss. Just like clockwork. And they deferred.
I like that right there. Take what the defense gives you. Luke Falk identified more of a pass coverage. Gives it to his running back for the 1st.
This offense trying to get a little traction now as they swing it out to James Williams, the redshirt freshman, with a good run after the catch. Jalen Moore, another tackle. He picks up 6 on the reception. Final seconds here of the quarter.
It's a good block right there by River Craycraft, the receiver. Spring that run, allow James Williams to get to the edge.
If they're going to get this playoff. No. All Oregon State. Gary Anderson, last time his Beavers played on this field, they got the first Pac-12 win in the Anderson era. Can they do it again tonight? They lead it 14-0 after 15 minutes on homecoming night in Corvallis. Which will be revealed on Tuesday night on ESPN. Will look a little different in this previous week, the AP poll, certainly because of some upsets today. And Clemson's in a battle right now with Florida State. Washington State just outside the top 25 this week. Win likely puts them in for the first time since last November, but they're down 2 touchdowns after the first quarter. Luke Falk and the Cougars. Just 80 yards of total offense so far. 2nd down and 4. That is caught by Gerard Wicks. And now 3rd down again. What do they need to do here?
I'd find 21 River Craycraft. We haven't seen much of him today. On the film, I watch time and time again. This is where he really shines. Intermediate throws across the middle. Sits down in the soft zone. Catches the ball in trash really well.
He had a slow start to the season, but he has come on the last few weeks. 3rd down and 5. Falk rolling to the right, being chased. He'll lob it deep downfield. A receiver and a defender got tangled up. No penalty marker. Gabe Marks ended up down on the turf as Devin Chappelle was in coverage. So 4th down and 5. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that Leach keeps the offense down on the field on 4th down, but he's going to bring out the punt unit.
Falk gets outside the pocket. Inadvertent contact. I'm glad that there was no flag there. I don't think that warranted a flag. Falk, more of a pocket passer. He gets outside the numbers. Does not have the accuracy outside the pocket that he does inside.
Already the 3rd punt for Kyle Sweet. Bolden lets that bounce. It takes a Cougars roll inside the 10. Good kick for Sweet. 52-yard punt. Again here in Corvallis, celebrating the 1942 Rose Bowl championship team. Oregon State over Duke 20-16. A game played in Durham, North Carolina, the home of the Blue Devils. The only game not played in Pasadena. Only Rose Bowl contest in the entire history of the event. How about this great footage that Oregon State was able to share with us? 99-year-old Andy LaForce, the Beavers team manager, last living member of the team, honorary captain tonight. Andy looks great.
It's good stuff. Like that hat he's got on tonight. Feeling good.
Battleship gray helmets for the Beavers tonight as they start at their own 7-yard line. Jet sweep. Victor Bolden has a couple of blockers. Good run. 25 and almost stepped out of a tackle at the 27-yard line, but Peyton Pallure was able to bring him down. A run of 20 yards for Bolden.
You'll see Victor Bolden again. Hits the perimeter. You see the speed, the ability to make people miss out in the open field. Explosive weapon being highly utilized here tonight by Oregon State.
Timeout. Washington State. 13:51 to go before half. 2-touchdown lead for the Beavers. After that Victor Bolden run, Mike Leach called a timeout just to bring everybody together so he could chew them out.
He's not a man that's afraid to get in his players' faces, to question their manhood, to call them out. He's done it this season. They've responded. He called the timeout. He called his team out again. We'll see if they respond here tonight like they did early on after the 0-2 start this season.
He can get the Cougars bowl eligible for the 3rd time in his 5 years as head coach with a win tonight. To come from behind to do it. 1st down and 10 from the 27 out of the gun. McMarion, the little play fake to Bolden. Sets in a clean pocket, throws, incomplete, batted down. Intended for Seth Collins. That was Jalen Thompson, number 34, the true freshman who started every game at strong safety. Makes a nice play.
Nice coverage there by the true freshman Jalen Thompson, running step for step with the wide receiver, gets the left hand up, forces the incompletion. Very good pass breakup. And I'll tell you, they're excited about Jalen Thompson. Came in early, and he's just really been a sponge to this defense. Smart, got a great head on his shoulder and a bright future here for the Washington State Cougar defense.
2nd and 10. This is Nall again. He is very hard to bring down. You got to swarm tackle him, and look at all the white helmets. Peyton Pelluer, the first one there. And Mike Leach has to appreciate that effort. Brings up 3rd down.
Pelluer grabs the foot of Nall, holds on for dear life. The rest of the Cougar defense shows up to bring down the big running back.
Time out on the field for injury.
Shaking up on that play, the right guard, Dustin Stanton. The defensive coordinator for Washington State is a young man by the name of Alex Grinch. And he has done a really nice job with the unit.
Much improved. Preaches effort, effort, effort. Says you should strain to the football. What he told us in the call this week. So far this year, this Washington State defense much improved. And they give great effort. Forcing turnovers, another area of improvement. Had 24 last year and 16 so far this year. One of the best teams in the Pac-12 had taken the football away.
Just 35 years old. Mike Leach gives him free reign over this defense. Trying to get off the field on 3rd down and 8 for Oregon State. McMarion throws incomplete. Well behind Seth Collins. And the Beavers will have to kick.
Good protection there by Oregon State, but McMarion had plenty of time to survey the field. And as you said, just misfires as he tries to hit his receiver, Seth Collins.
This is Nick Porebski to punt for the first time. Caleb Fawson is the lone man back deep for the Cougars, and he's going to field this at the 25-yard line. Gets past one man, but then swarmed under at the 20-yard line. 46-yard punt. 12:42 to go before half. Can Falk and the Cougars get it going on offense? We'll find out. $14 to nothing Oregon State. The underneath zone coverage for the Beavers.
Oregon State's been playing a lot of zone. You see they rush for the underneath zone coverage. Ooh, almost an interception. Here's a rush 3. It's a drop 8 all underneath with all the crossers. Nothing's there. We've seen Luke Falk check it down time and time again. Oregon State, there's a lot of credit early on here with the way that they've played defense, and really the zone coverage underneath has been outstanding against Washington State.
There's Kevin Clune. He's been the defensive coordinator at Hawaii, Utah State. Now let's see how Washington State responds. Only been in Oregon State territory for 2 plays so far. That's a big gain. River Craycraft out to midfield.
And that's one way to beat the underneath zone coverage. Throw it right over the top of it. You see River Craycraft out of the slot. Up to seam. Nice job by Luke Falk, putting it high above the linebacker level, allowing his veteran wide receiver to go up and make a nice play.
Craycraft now catches in 37 straight games. Falk again going to the air. He's going to heave it deep, has a man, and it is incomplete. Marks may have been interfered with. Jalen Moore, Treston Decoud in the coverage. I think it was Decoud.
Yeah, pass interference on Decoud.
Pass interference. Defense number 14. Automatic first down.
Fifth penalty against Oregon State.
Yeah, you know, Gabe Marks hasn't beaten coverage. He has to wait on the football, and Decoud goes up. He tries to get his head around, but clearly makes contact with the receiver before the ball gets there. If Luke Falk gets that ball out of his hands sooner and leads his wide receiver, that's an easy touchdown for Gabe Marks.
Pass defense for Oregon State pretty good on the year. And that's incomplete. 2nd down and 10. 28th best pass defense. They allow under 200 yards per game. It's a dubious honor, though, when you talk to Gary Anderson. He says, yeah, but look at our run numbers. We're not good at stopping the run.
That's right. They've really struggled in Pac-12 play. Haven't held an opponent under 200 yards stopping the run. but have been really good on the back end so far this year. Luke Falk misfires again on a deep ball. One thing, if you watch him, his arm strength at times can be somewhat questionable.
He'll throw it here. An angle route by Marks. Is well short of the first down marker. It's going to be 6 yards to go on 3rd down for Washington State.
Staple of what they do right there, the shallow in-cutting routes. Ball gets out quick. Both these guys up here, River Cracraft, Gabe Marks, his go-to targets, top of the screen.
Marks in motion. Falk. Plenty of time. Short pass, Cracraft. Ball comes out, and Oregon State has recovered. Devin Chappelle with the recovery.
The catch, fumble recovered by the defense.
Well, big turnover. Already the 13th this year for Oregon State.
Well, just like we thought, River Cracraft, he sits down in the zone, and boy, Jalen Moore, the safety, comes up and lowers the boom. Big hit on Cracraft, jarring the ball loose, and Oregon State's on it. Big hit right there by Jalen Moore. It did not look like his knee was down to me, Clay. Man, just a punishing blow right there. Legal?
Hard to tell there. They're going to take another look at it. It was his knee down.
I haven't seen anything that would tell me they're going to change this call.
And it was ruled a fumble on the field, a catch and a fumble, and the video evidence has to be indisputable.
I think that ball's out.
I do too.
Yeah.
You know, Oregon State had 12 forced turnovers all of last season.
Right.
If this stands, this will already be the 13th created turnover for Oregon State this year.
Kevin Clune talked to us yesterday. They want to continue to improve and get the turnovers. They work the circuits. They work it in practice. And clearly, the first-year defensive coordinator at Oregon State getting his defense to buy in and find ways to take the football away this season.
Well, if this is indeed a fumble and a recovery by Oregon State, you couldn't ask for a better start if you're Gary Anderson.
The offense, a couple of nice drives rolling, had some big plays. Defense has been coming up with stops, and Washington State finally gets a drive moving, get a little momentum going. That was a big 3rd down, by the way, from River Cracraft. And Jalen Moore just comes up, delivers a great hit, jars that ball loose. They continue to look at this. There's the look right there. I mean, it's so close. Just don't know if there's indisputable evidence to overturn the call on the field.
Jerry Meyerhoff is the replay official. He's looking at it right now. Here comes the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Oregon State's ball, 1st and 10.
All the breaks. All the momentum has been with Oregon State really since the opening kickoff.
And you know, that's unlike Cracraft. I mean, he's a veteran, played a lot of football. That's his area. I mean, he's used to taking those shots from backers, from safeties right there in the middle of the field and all that trash. But clearly Jalen Moore brought a little bit too much to the table.
4 drives for Washington State. 3 have ended up with punts, and that drive ends up with a fumble. And Tavis Pierce is going to take a loss in the play.
Hercules Matoafa, outstanding defensive end. He's slippery, get up the field, penetrate. Does a really nice job playing on the other side of the football. Very physical, violent hands. Nice play there on 1st down.
Freshman All-American last year. Hercules Mataafa. There's a handle you're not going to forget. 2nd down and 10. McMarion is complete. That's Hunter Jarman. Let's go to the studio and Chris with an update.
Coming down to the wire on ABC, Florida State seesawing back on top. Guess who, Coach?
Absolutely, Dalvin Cook. If you don't know who to give the ball to down in the red zone, give it to Dalvin. His 4th touchdown of the night.
2-point conversion was no good. 5-point lead. Clemson's got it back on ABC.
Never easy going into Tallahassee.
Absolutely not. Jimbo Fisher's got those guys playing well tonight. Great game in the ACC.
3rd down and 4 for Oregon State. You need the 39-yard line. This is Marcus McMarion, the sophomore. And he's got another completion. They'll move the chains. It's Victor Bolden, a gain of 7. College football rankings presented by Goodyear. Alabama on bye. A great win for Michigan in East Lansing today. There you see Clemson trailing Washington at Utah with the win. Louisville. Last-minute touchdown pass by the Heisman frontrunner Lamar Jackson. Nebraska was undefeated coming into the weekend, lost at Wisconsin. And the Big 12, they're in trouble. I don't see any chance that they have a college football playoff team this year.
They're out of the CFP opportunities. They're not getting anybody in.
Ryan Nall stopped short of the line of scrimmage. So, you know, besides the teams that were undefeated that go on the road and have a hard time, what else stood out to you today?
Teams finding a way to win. Washington on the road at Utah. Close, tough game. They get a punt return to win that football game. Look at Louisville, still right there in the CFP opportunities. They go down at Virginia, under 2 minutes to play. The Heisman Trophy frontrunner, Lamar Jackson, leads them on a touchdown game-winning drive. Even Ohio State wasn't easy for them against Northwestern. So some of these top echelon teams finding ways to grind out wins here in this upset Saturday.
Seth Collins catch, 7-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and manageable.
And obviously, like you said, the Big 12 with no undefeated teams left, and Oklahoma the leader in that league right now with already 2 early non-conference losses. You think they're all but eliminated from the college football playoff conversation.
There's some big matchups looking ahead to next week. Alabama will be back in action, taking on LSU. That will not be an easy game for the Crimson Tide. It will certainly be #1 when that first college football playoff ranking comes out on Tuesday. Timeout, Oregon State, leading by a couple of touchdowns. So 3rd and 4 to ponder for Gary Anderson and company.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends. Please enjoy Dos Equis responsibly.
Getting those battleship gray helmets commemorating the 1941 team that won the January 1st Rose Bowl game in Durham, North Carolina. One played in Pasadena that year because of World War II. Oregon State won it over Duke that year. 3rd down and 4. There's Bolden going in motion again. And some movement on that left side of the Oregon State line.
False start.
It's really the only thing going against Oregon State.
Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
6th penalty against the Beavers. Good look at the Letterman's jackets. 1942 on the helmets. Men of Roses on the back of the helmets. And a commemorative patch on the left shoulder tonight.
Seen in these spots tonight, 3rd and plus situations. Victor Bolden has been the go-to man tonight for Marcus McMarion.
So now instead of a 3rd and 4, it's 3rd and 9. Back to the 43-yard line. McMarion to throw. Had time, now forced out of the pocket. On the hoof, across his body, got it off complete. Hunter Jarman coming back to the football, made the catch for the 1st down.
Jarman makes the catch, but McMarion makes this play. Buys his wide receiver some time. No one's open early on. Gets outside the pocket, evades the rush. Decent pressure right there. He gets outside. I like how he squares his shoulders right there at the end and fires a dart to Hunter Jarman for a big third down. You see him square those shoulders right there, fire an accurate pass. Hunter Jarman snares it. Good concentration by the wide receiver.
Jarman went off the field after the play. Might have been shaken up on it. Wildcat. McMarion then gets it back to Collins, and there's nobody in front of him. Little razzle-dazzle by the Beavs. 46 yards and a touchdown. McMarion lined up as the wide receiver to start that play.
Little trickeration here in Corvallis. It's been all Beavers so far here in the first half.
Another extra point for Garrett Owens, and it's 21-0.
Well, as we've said, it's been all Beavers so far here tonight. Seth Collins at quarterback, McMarion out at wide receiver, a throwback to Seth Collins. No one's home for the Cougars, and a touchdown Beavers. It's been all Oregon State so far here tonight in Corvallis.
Well, Washington State sure-handed receiver River Craycraft appeared to have a first down conversion reception. Was ruled a fumble. Oregon State recovered, and then 7 plays later they're in the end zone. A Seth Collins touchdown catch. Washington State has been so good the last 5 games, finds themselves down 21-0 now as Robert Taylor doesn't even get it back to the 25-yard line.
Well, the quarterback, Marcus McMarion, he's lined up here at wide receiver. Seth Collins is the Wildcat quarterback right here. And we're going to take a look here at the cornerback as well, Darian Moulton. So freeze it right there. So this quarterback now, he has to be alert for Collins coming out of the backfield right here, and he's not. He turns and runs with the inside receiver. No one left to account for Seth Collins, and it's all green grass in front. An Oregon State touchdown.
Draw play, and James Williams gets a couple. Clemson FSU update to the studio and Chris.
Oh boy, let's get Jonathan Vilma in on this. Where's the defense? Deshaun Watson leading Clemson back with the touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
Oh, great effort here to get into the end zone. Great blocking by the offensive line. Clemson leading at 37-34.
But FSU's got it in Clemson territory, ABC.
All right, for Deshaun Watson to stay in that Heisman conversation, he's got a win tonight with Clemson and might be ready to do it. There's Jamal Morrow wide open. First down and a lot more. Out close to midfield. Again, these backs are such good receivers. Chappelle escorts him out.
And Luke Falk does a good job. The touch, allowing it, throwing the football, putting it out there where Morrow can run with the ball after the catch.
Gain of 21. Coming up on 6 minutes to go here before halftime. And that is Williams again. Good run. That's going to move the chains. James Williams, the redshirt freshman out of Burbank.
I like this guy with the football in his hands. He can run between the tackles. He can hit the edge. Good power, runs through arm tackles.
Look at that rushing yards, just 26 tonight. We'll throw it again here. Martin picking it ahead after the catch for a gain of 5. We'll kick off your Week 8 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern, NFL Insider Sunday edition. All the early breaking stories and injury news. Then at 11, it's Sunday NFL Countdown with Berman, Dilfer, Woodson, Hasselbeck, and Moss. Seahawks fans be interested to see the return of Jimmy Graham to New Orleans for the first time as a Seahawk this week. They need 5 yards. Falk had all day, and then some pressure late. Got rid of it, complete to John Thompson. Bobbled it, but lost it out of bounds. So 3rd down and short coming up here for Washington State. Under 5 minutes to go.
Luke Falk does such a good job completely surveying the field. Take a look at this catch, though. Thompson. Catch, turns upfield, loses the football. It's an area they've ran the ball effectively this year.
Play fake. And coming back for the ball is Martin, and he could go. Tavares Martin, touchdown. And finally, Washington State is on the board. 33-yard touchdown reception for Tavares. And the 20th touchdown pass on the year for Luke Falk.
It's an answer Washington State had to have after going down 21-0. Big time possession right there for the Cougars to get themselves back in this game.
6 plays, 76 yards in 2 minutes, 25 seconds. And Eric Powell on for the first time. And it's no good. Got a piece of it. Second missed PAT this year for Powell. And the look on Mike Leach's face says it all. It's just not been a good night for the Cougars.
Tavares Martin, it's going to be a tunnel screen. You'll see him work back to the inside, and you'll watch all these offensive linemen get out in front and pave the way. Good job getting on the 2nd and 3rd levels, and it's off to the races for Tavares Martin. Tunnel screen. Mike Leach has been running that since he's been calling plays as an offensive coordinator. A little salsa at the end there for Tavares Martin. You like that, Clay?
Well, the sophomore from Belle Glade can really move. Now, who got a piece of that? Great pressure there to
right at the middle.
Block it up the middle. So 4:39 to go. Oregon State will get it back. They've got a couple of timeouts left. Washington State has 1 remaining before halftime, but maybe a little life now for the Cougars. Getting on the board for the first time. Fielded at the 11 by Victor Bolden. Gets it across the 20, and then he stood up there. Taco Bell, proud partner of the college football playoff. We're on the lookout for Taco Bell student sections and passionate fans like these at games all season long. With Halloween coming up Monday night. Some good costumes in attendance here tonight. What are you going as this year?
I have undecided. I got to figure it out by Monday. What about you? You going to be a Cubs fan, Cubs player?
Nope, same as last year.
Okay.
Chubby, middle-aged guy.
Big win by the Indians tonight, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Man.
3-1, Cleveland leads that series. One more game in Wrigley Field before heading to Cleveland, unless the Indians can wrap it up tomorrow. Marcus McMaryion will give it off to Ryan Nall. He's got 2 touchdowns in this game. 1 running, 1 receiving. Another Clemson FSU update in the studio.
And guys, this is the last one because Clemson has made the last stand on 4th and 32. Florida State keeps going backward. Ben Boulware for that maligned Clemson defense that was going to get beat up and down the field in the second half. Comes away with a huge sack. Stays unbeaten.
It is never easy to win on the road. Regardless of the conference, regardless of the level, the league, it doesn't matter. You win on the road, it's a good win. Clemson stays in that college football playoff picture. 2nd down and 8. McMaryion goes downfield, complete again to the 38-yard line. That's Seth Collins.
Completely agree. When you go on the road, it's you against the world. It's always tough. It's always hostile. Communication's never easy. You feel the swings on the road, and give Clemson a lot of credit. They have a knack. Dabo Swinney and this team, going back to last season, in close games, they just find a way to make the plays. It always helps you get a quarterback like Deshaun Watson.
I think we can pretty fairly safely say that we know what the top 4 is going to be on Tuesday when the rankings are released. With that Clemson win, they're going to be in there.
Completely agree.
Washington will be as well. Bolden spins away from a tackle, gets a first down, and he's upended near midfield by Robert Taylor. But Victor Bolden is having the breakout night receiving the football that Gary Anderson's been looking for.
They've been waiting for this. Get him the ball out in space. Let him make plays. It's going to be a bubble out here. You see 34, Jalen Thompson, the freshman safety, comes up, almost makes a great play behind the line of scrimmage. Overruns it, poor tackling, can't keep his hands on him. And you see Victor Bolden, the speed, getting up the field and turning what would have been a loss of 2 or 3 into a nice game.
You see it's 7 targets. He has made 6 catches, over 100 yards already. Before tonight, he'd been finding other ways to contribute. The return game, in the run game. But Gary Anderson specifically wanted to see him catch the ball tonight, and he's doing it.
Yeah, he is, and they're going to him. Easy opportunities for McMarion to get him involved. And, you know, one thing I really like about Victor Bolden, he's a captain on this football team. When we spoke with Gary Anderson yesterday, said one of the things he likes about him so much, he's accepted his role in this offense, knowing he's going to get fewer opportunities with the injuries they've had at the quarterback position. And he was quoted as saying last week, to pay attention to the details, it's going to get them over the hump. Sounds to me like they listened after the loss last week, paid attention to the details, and off to a great start here tonight in the first half.
On the Washington State defense is dealing with Bolden in that Oregon State offense without nose tackle Robert Barber, suspended by the school for his involvement in a fight last July at a house party in Pullman. He had been playing while his appeal process played out. This week, an appeal board upheld the suspension, effectively ending his career at Washington State. So they're not using that presence up the middle to stop the run or anything else. That was incomplete. Let's go back to this. Another defensive lineman, TJ Fehoko, he's been expelled for the same incident. His appeal hasn't been heard yet. But this is a big blow for Washington State. I think we saw it affect the Cougars immediately tonight on that big explosive run up the middle by Ryan Nall.
It was right up the middle, right where Robert Barber would be. He's a big body. He's not overly productive, but a fifth-year senior. He adds leadership and a presence, always staying his gap, a disruptive force, and clearly he's been missed here tonight for this Washington State defensive line.
Last play is under review. You see Daniel Ekuale, number 90. He's one of the guys that is stepping up in the absence of Robert Barber.
Ekuale, Garrett McBroom, 99, as well as Nalu Tapa. These guys have got to step up. And with Barber out of this lineup, it messes with the rotations and it takes away a big-time defender and a big-time leader of this Cougar defense. So, and as we've seen, Oregon State has already run for 147 yards here tonight. Take a look at this as a catch.
Seth Collins.
I think that's a catch.
You know, it was ruled incomplete on the field. Boy, it sure looked like he had 1 foot in.
Looked like he makes that catch. He gets the left foot inbounds.
Just have to have one.
Yeah, that looks like a catch to me.
What an encouraging first half for Oregon State. So many things have gone well for the Beavers.
I think the place you start is Marcus McMarion, the quarterback that coming into tonight, his 3rd start, and they've had real issues getting this passing game going. He's 14 of 20 for 215 and 2 touchdowns. He's taken care of the ball, he's made good decisions, and he's come up with some really timely throws here in the first half. I think this is going to get overturned. Looks to me like it's a catch.
It's got to be indisputable video evidence to overturn it. Jerry Meyerhoff, replay official, who's been called on a few times already here in the first half.
I'd be really surprised. You never know with these catch, no catches. They can go either way, but To me, that is indisputable evidence that he caught the football, left foot inbounds. To me, that's an Oregon State catch and a first down.
Sure taking a while.
Well, typically when they take a while, it's because they've got to
move the chains and spot the football.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good sign for Oregon State.
After review, it was determined that the receiver completed the catch with a foot in bounds. The ball will be placed at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. The game clock will start on my signal.
So officially a reception of 12 yards for Collins. He's closing in on a 100-yard half receiving. Now Oregon State after 34 of Washington State. 5 of the 6 drives have gotten into Washington State territory for the Beavers. This is Ryan Nall, the wrecking Nall, lowering his shoulder and spinning toward the first down. All right, guys in studio, what's coming up at the half?
Well, I'm Chris Hassel. I've got the B&W Halftime Report. I'm going to be joined by my special guests, Coach Davis and Jonathan Vilma. We've got chaos. 4 unbeatens have been beaten. A conference in the Power 5 eliminated from playoff contention. We're going to go no huddle and hand out our game balls, plus a 3 lateral touchdown play you have got to see. Coming up at the half.
All right, Chris, thanks. West Virginia, Baylor, Nebraska, Boise. All undefeated coming into the weekend. Not anymore.
Upset Saturday and a lot of other games. Boy, were they close.
And Washington State unbeaten in Pac-12 play. They've been playing from behind all night. There's Ryan Nall on 2nd and 1, first down. Let's go down to Alex.
Well, as we just saw, Nall's capable of breaking massive runs, and he takes a lot of pride in his size. He's 6'2", 234 pounds, and runs hard. He says his motto is, don't just let one person take you down. There should be a few guys that bring me down.
One of the reasons he wasn't able to play last week, Alex, was he couldn't plant on a sore foot. We have seen nothing of that tonight as far as being an issue. McMarion hit as he throws. It's incomplete. The intended receiver, Villeman. Isaac Dotson got right up in the grill of McMarion and knocked him down. 2nd and 10.
Nice blitz right there by Isaac Dotson. Comes untouched, clean. Good hit on the quarterback, Marcus McMarion, forcing the errant pass.
We're under a minute to play here before half. Dotson's dad, Michael, was an All-American wrestler at Washington State back in the mid-'80s. McMarion and the Beavers now in the 8th play of this series. Surveys the scene, thrown incomplete. Is up in the air off the hands of Collins, but nobody in the vicinity for Washington State to come up with that interception.
Big hit delivered there by Shalom Luani. Brought the shoulder, the forearm, making sure that pass had no chance of being caught. Washington State looking for a big stop right here. So Oregon State's trying to add some points here before the half. They might want to pressure Marcus McMarion.
Already within field goal range of Garrett Owens, but looking for 6. 3 for 5 on 3rd down. McMarion complete the 15-yard line. That is caught by Bolden. Another catch for Victor. That's a gain of 6.
What you like to see right there is Darian Moulton to catch tackle, plant and drive. Bolden secures the catch, and Darian Moulton comes up making sure Bolden unable to gain the yards after the catch.
So 4th down here, and they're going to take the play clock down. A 4-second differential between game clock and play clock. What's Gary Anderson thinking here? Does he bring out the field goal unit or does he go for it?
Oh, he's kicking the field goal. Absolutely. He wouldn't be running the clock down if he was thinking about going for it, getting 6.
Well, Tuesday at 7 on ESPN, we're going to have the exclusive reveal of the first college football playoff rankings. Reese and the guys will break it down from top to bottom, coaches' reactions, as well as a live interview with committee chairman Kirby Hocutt. We saw Kirby a few weeks ago, the Texas Tech AD. Now in the national spotlight as the committee head. A fun night. And then we'll have those for you every week. College football playoff rankings.
That's must-see TV, man. You get Herbie, Pollock, Galloway, all those guys in there talking about it, giving their CFP4, their first 2 out. Makes for a good batter. Always fun on Tuesday nights once November hits.
Garrett Owens coming out. Third-year place kicker, 9 for 14 coming into the night with a long of 45, but missed from 45 in the first quarter. This from 32. Bingo. 24-6, Oregon State. Best first half this season for the Beavers. 3 touchdowns, a field goal, and the halftime score, 24-6. Now Chris, Jonathan, and Butch, the BMW halftime report. Gorgeous night at Reser Stadium here in Corvallis, Oregon. You're watching ESPN College Football presented by Geico. What a half for the Oregon State Beavers. 394 yards of total offense, by far their best first half of the season. 3 touchdowns, a field goal. And Washington State ranked just outside that top 25 this week, Dusty. They're on upset alert tonight. Everything going the Beavers' way in that first half.
Absolutely. They got it going on the offense early. Marcus McMaryion was outstanding. They get Victor Bolden involved, and Ryan Nall, the wrecking Nall, he was big time too. And on the other side, Oregon State defensively held Luke Falk in this passing attack in check. Washington State hasn't run it very much, and Oregon State forced a big turnover when Washington State was on the move. So it's been all Beavers here in the first half here tonight.
This is a team that has been racked by injuries, including Ryan Nall, who was dinged up last week, but they got him back tonight, and he had a big play right away. As Washington State will start with the football. Taylor gets out to the 24-yard line. Here's Nall with that 89-yard run in the first quarter for a touchdown.
Right up the middle. Very nice job blocking by the interior of the offensive line. And Ryan Nall picking him up, putting him down to the house. Victor Bolden with an acrobatic one-handed grab. And you see right there, they get Ryan Nall matched up man-to-man on a backer. And it's a touchdown. A little razzle-dazzle in the first half. Lineman McMaryion up at receiver. Seth Collins at quarterback. The throwback to Seth Collins. Big explosive plays in the first half for the Beaver offense.
See if Washington State can get it going. Jamal Morrow with the catch. He's been quiet tonight. Alex Cordry is down on the field. She caught up with Coach Leach.
Well, how about this? Quarterback Luke Falk is no stranger to fourth quarter comebacks. He owns 5 in his career. But talking to head coach Mike Leach, he said, I don't care about the fourth quarter. We need to do our job coming out of the gate right now.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing, I'm sure. And we've already seen a full-fledged chew out on the sideline. Leach called a timeout in the first half to chew his team out. You can imagine what happened at halftime, and there Falk gets sacked by Bright Ugwebu, the sophomore outside linebacker.
Ugwebu, extremely talented, long, athletic, great pass rusher. You see him coming off the left side. Gets to Luke Falk. Beats Cole Madison. Nice job right there on second down, getting the sack to start the second half.
First sack tonight for Oregon State. Ugwebu leading the team in tackles for loss and sacks. Sets up 3rd and 11 for Washington State. Can't convert. Intended for Gabe Marks, their sure-handed senior receiver. But just as the game started on the very first series for Washington State, so does the first series of the second half. They've got a punt.
It's a quick 3 and out. Sack on second down, get you 3rd and long, and We talked earlier about Luke Falk's inability at times to be as accurate, put the zip on the ball outside the numbers, a deep out right there to Marks, and he's off target. Forced a quick punt.
All right, Victor Bolden is back to return this Kyle Sweet punt, his fourth, but no, he's going to keep it and try and pick up the first down, won't, and then he is dropped. Ball comes out, but they're going to rule him down. Jalen Bailey, who had a couple of bad penalties in the first half for the Beavers, makes the stop, and Oregon State has great field position.
But we know with Mike Leach, he loves to gamble, roll the dice. He goes for it on fourth down all the time. But to start the second half from his own end, I just don't know if I like that call right there. I know he's trying to get a spark, and this is an athletic punter who also can play wide receiver for him, but it's a nice job by the Oregon State punt cover unit to see the fake and come up and make a big stop.
Yeah, he's an eccentric guy. He's a gambler, risk taker.
That's right.
Just doesn't pay off this time for Washington State. Kyle Sweet, good speed too. He's not a punter by trade. He's a wide receiver. So there was a good chance he was going to make that conversion, but doesn't. And the Beavers take over at the 28 of Washington State. This is Nall, and he'll get just one. The Washington State defense, 26 points allowed on the season, gave up 24 in the first half.
Been talking all night. The defensive coordinator, Coach Grinch, had these Cougar defense playing well. And here in the first half, Oregon State putting up huge numbers against the Cougar defense.
Yeah, and through the air primarily. And Washington State's game plan coming in, make them throw it.
Oregon State, the worst passing offense in the Pac-12 coming into tonight.
They're going to throw it again, or try to. McMarion is smothered. That was Garrett McBroom, number 99, with a little help by Mata Afa. That's going to bring up third down and long.
McBroom from the inside makes a nice inside move, gets that rip up. And Garrett McBroom, the Oklahoma native, JUCO transfer, started the last 4 games, really stepping up. Big play right there on second down.
Now Grinch, defensive coordinator, is talking about tackles for loss and sacks. Said he hopes he sees a lot more tonight. We didn't see a lot in the first half. In fact, that's just the first sack tonight for the Cougars. 3rd and 17. Nobody home outside. That was Ryan Nall. The backfield, that was the closest receiver. So 4th down. And this is kind of no man's land. And it looks like the punt unit's going to come out.
It's a huge stop right there for this Washington State defense. You know, Mike Leach rolls the dice. He tries to fake punt in his own territory. Oregon State starts with great field position. But the Washington State defense comes up with a big stop. The sack pushed them back out of field goal range and forces the punt.
He has put 14 punts inside the 20 this year. Sky high kick bounces inside the 5, but the Beavers can't keep it out with a great effort. Nearly did. It's a 35-yard punt. They'll bring it out to the 20.
Garrett McBroom from the inside. You see him get the rip up. The first sack of the night for the Cougar defense. Gets his offense the ball back. Try to make some hay here in the second half.
Monday Night Football this week. It's a battle in the NFC North. The Vikings and the Bears. Tough year for the Bears. Pretty good one so far for the Vikings. 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's. And Luke Falk, who may be a pretty high draft pick in this next NFL draft, trying to get his offense going. They start at the 20, 1st and 10, throwing over the middle, complete to the 30. That's the first catch for Robert Lewis tonight. They'll move the chains. Todd McShay, one of our draft analysts at ESPN, thinks he's the number 4 quarterback of the slew of quarterbacks out there for this upcoming draft.
He's got a lot of the tools you look for in an NFL quarterback. His accuracy, pocket awareness, good footwork. Not the greatest arm strength, but clearly a quarterback is going to play at the next level.
Here's Gerard Wicks looking for room on that right side. He'll pick up a couple. 2nd down and 8. Is it a good draft as far as quarterbacks go, looking ahead to 2017?
No. I don't think when you look at this that there's a ton of upper echelon quarterbacks at the top. And personally, I would say Luke Falk, I would expect him to come back to Washington State next year. But if there aren't many quarterbacks ahead of him, maybe he decides to roll the dice and get while the getting's good.
He throws on 2nd and 18. Got a man behind the defense. Jamal Morrow out of the backfield. Goodbye. Touchdown. Well, that's certainly not going to hurt Falk's future. Adds to the resume with a 66-yard touchdown pass.
Excellent touch by Luke Falk on that deep ball, Clay. Excellent touch. Put it right over the top, over the shoulder for Morrow to grab it and run with it after the catch.
They're going to go for 2. Try and make this a 10-point game. Remember, earlier in the game, Eric Powell had an extra point attempt blocked by the Beavers. Two-point conversion try. Falk to the outside. Caught. Sweet to the end zone. Did he get in? You bet. And it's a 10-point game.
Well, that's the answer that Mike Leach wanted coming out of the half. The defense gets a stop, and it sets up this. Jamal Morrow out of the backfield. Luke Falk finds him, and Jamal Morrow does the rest. Big touchdown for the Cougars.
Luke Falk finds Jamal Morrow. The touchdown pass. His 2nd touchdown pass of the night. 4th receiving touchdown for Morrow. And Washington State, inspired perhaps by the defensive stop deep in their own territory, you get it back to the air raid and then bang. And now Washington State, for the first time, you feel like they've got the momentum on their side tonight.
Definitely some momentum. There's a huge stop by the defense just to get their offense the ball back. And Luke Falk and this offense cash in with a big touchdown here early in the 3rd quarter.
Washington State, the first 4 drives this evening, nothing. Last 2 drives, 14 points. From the 15-yard line. Stop short of the 30. That's Bailey. Let's go back to that last touchdown pass.
Well, the middle linebacker, Hungalu, is going to be right there. And we'll watch Jamal Morrow come out of the backfield. Freeze it right there, fellas. Watch these safeties. These safeties, they're all the way on the outside. Middle of the field is wide open. And you see the matchup right here. The linebacker has to try to turn and run. With Morrow, he can't do it. And Jamal Morrow does the rest with the legs. It's excellent touch right over the linebacker's head. Morrow has to kind of turn, but he's able to turn and continue to run. We've talked about these running backs' ability to not just run it, but catch the football as well, Clay.
Beavers from the 29, a little play action, and it's going to be stopped. Penalty flag. The one against Oregon State.
False start. Offense number 82. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Tuliwale Matangi, the tight end. They're starting to pile up now for Oregon State. They had a bunch in the first half, and you see the penalty yards this year. Already 56 yards against. Last drive for Oregon State, their first 3 and out of the night. They had a great opportunity in Washington State territory after stopping the fake punt. And now they're having all kinds of trouble in their own territory. Bolden cut down. That was Henry on the tackle.
Well, they had a lot of success with that in the first half. They weren't setting the edge on the sweep. And you see right there the Cougar defense. Dylan Hanser sets the edge. And then Isaac Dotson comes in and cleans it up. Much better improvement playing that in the second half than what they did in the first play.
Second down and 19. Washington State bringing 5. McMarion got rid of it. The pass is caught. Hunter Jarman, who was shaken up in the first half. Good to see him back out running around. Picks up 8. That'll be third down, but still long. About 11 yards to go for the first down. And this is not what Oregon State is good at. You can see.
No, it's not. But hey, McMarion had some success on some third and long situations, but this is the game plan for Washington State. Get them in third and long, bring some pressure, try to force a turnover, and get Oregon State to make a mistake.
Last in the Pac-12 in third down conversions. They need 11 yards. McMarion lobs it up and through the hands of the receiver. There is a marker, perhaps pass interference. Jordan Villeman believes he was interfered with. Darian Moulton in the coverage. The sophomore corner.
Pass interference. Offense number 15. That penalty is declined. Will be fourth down.
It's going to actually go against Oregon State.
Yeah, Villeman uses the left arm to push off, try to create some separation, and the referee wasn't having it. That left arm pushes off. The quarterback, Darian Moulton, can't try to create separation as a wide receiver. Good call by the official.
Villeman's been an enigma for Gary Anderson. Great numbers last year, the year before for Oregon State under Mike Riley, but having trouble. Oh, punter run into. There is a marker.
This could be more than just the running into variety. I think this could be a rough in the punter, which give Oregon State a first down.
Tristan Brock, number 44 for Washington State. Take a look.
And just run into him right here. Gets the punter really good on the leg.
Nick Perebski.
Maybe Washington State will get lucky here.
Yeah, he
just gets the running into the kicker.
He was able to get it off, and you look at it the second and third time, it didn't look nearly as egregious. Right. Gary Anderson wants a roughing the kicker, and it's probably just going to be a running into.
Everybody holding their breath right. That's a big call in this game.
It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still going to be fourth down.
Defense, that penalty is declined.
Yep.
Good call by you.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Gary Anderson. I think the officials got that one right.
Didn't go for the plant leg, and that's the one thing that they really try to protect, that punter's plant leg. He got him on the kicking leg, so you're right. After looking at it several times, not quite as egregious as I thought when I saw it live.
So now Washington State, which has some traction. Things starting to go their way. They're within 10 now. A quick scoring drive. 3 plays, 80 yards in their last possession. They take over at their own 26. High snap. Fulk puts it in the belly of James Williams. He'll slug ahead across the 30-yard line. This is a 5-2 Washington State team. 4-0 in the Pac-12. They watched Washington win today in Salt Lake City against Utah to go to 5-0 in the Pac-12 North. They're trying to keep pace with the Huskies.
That's right. This team a week ago was down 14-3 on the road in Tempe, and we're able to come back, and here tonight fall behind early. Trying to come up with a second-half comeback.
This is going to go against the Cougars.
False start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. Main second down.
Andre Dillard, the left tackle. The 5th win in a row for Mike Leach's team last week. First win at Arizona State since 2001. And remember how this thing got started this year for the Cougars. They were 0-2, including a loss to an FCS opponent. Into the secondary, contact, more flags. Good night.
That was interference.
No doubt.
They pulled Craycraft down.
And Devin Chappelle, the nickelback, the culprit. Normally he starts at safety, but Dwayne Williams.
Pass interference, defense, number 9. Automatic first down.
He's been out with a knee injury, so Chappelle's been playing the nickel.
Chappelle there on Craycraft, hands on him, and he pulls him down by the arm. Clearly pass interference.
Yeah, I don't know what Chappelle's beef was with the call, because he was guilty of sin.
They were both hand fighting a little bit early, but you can't drag him down to the ground.
That's against the rules, as they say.
A little bit.
Here's Morrow now, inside handoff, finds some room, first down, and driven down at the 40-yard line. Strong tackle by Arnold, but another big play for Jamal Morrow, the captain. Give him 20.
Left tackle here. Nice job setting the edge, opening up that hole for Jamal Morrow. Gets to the edge. A nice gain right there for another first down.
And the ground attack starting to pick up. Falk dancing around, has to step up, and he'll salvage a couple of yards. Well, the offensive line starting to really get into a rhythm. Let's go down to Alex.
Yeah, guys, well, Cody O'Connell coming in at left guard on the first series in the second half here, and we've already seen him make an impact. Actually, his nickname that Mike Leach has given him, the Continent.
Yeah, he is huge. 6'8", 354.
It's a big man. Big man.
Second and 8. And Falk running out of time. Dodged a tackle. Throws it deep downfield. Short pass. Somehow, Gabe Marks made the catch. Touchdown, Cougars. And Falk is shaken up. But that looked like a sure interception waiting to happen. And it turns out to be a touchdown pass of 37 yards.
But we talked about Mike Leach being a gambler. Luke Falk gambles as well, floats one up into the end zone, and he trusts one of the best receivers in Washington State history, Gabe Marks. Just goes up and fights for the ball. Surprised an Oregon State defender doesn't get hands on it, knock it down. Big touchdown right there by Gabe Marks.
Eric Powell had one extra point block tonight. That one is true. And we've got a 3-point game.
Gabe Marks goes up, concentrates, and he makes a nice catch over 2 Oregon State defenders. How about Luke Falk, the tough quarterback? Takes some abuse but delivers the pass. Oregon State on top by 3.
Well, the good news for the Cougars is they're back in this game. They've come back from being down 21-0 at one point, and it's now 24-21 Oregon State. The bad news is Luke Falk got dinged up, hit pretty hard on that touchdown pass by Kalani Vakamelalo. And we've even seen Tyler Helinski, the redshirt freshman, back up for Washington State, warming up on the sideline just in case. Boy, the way things have started to turn around for the Cougars would be devastating to them if Falk can't continue. From inside the 10, this is Bolden to the 20 and knocked back there.
Falk's 2 touchdowns this half. The last one to Marks.
Well, the first one he found is running back Morrow out of the backfield, just over the linebacker's head. Running back in the open field does the rest. And you know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Great job evading the rush, looking downfield, and he throws up a prayer as he gets hit. Sometimes quarterbacks just got to trust their veteran wide receivers, and that's what he did. He trusted Gabe Marks, and he rewarded him coming down with a big touchdown grab.
Trying to go. You can tell he's grimacing a little bit.
He's a tough cookie now, Clay. I mean, Luke Falk, he's as tough as they come.
Well, remember last week, he took a pounding in the game against Arizona State. And Seth Collins makes that catch, but he was able to finish that game out and get the win against the Sun Devils.
That Cougar defense is flying around right now, Clay. Man.
Well, I think the offense has been inspired by the defense. The defense has been inspired by the offense. It's cyclical right now for them. They're feeding off of each other. Look at the first half. And here in the second half, just the one incompletion. Already 116, a couple of touchdowns. First team all Pac-12 last year, Luke Falk. Led the Cougars to 9 wins and a bowl win over Miami. 3rd down and 8 for Oregon State.
Tried to throw the quick swing screen out in the flat to the running back. The pressure was on McMarion. The coverage was outside. Brings up another 3rd and long for the Oregon State offense. Again, not the down and distance that they want to be in against this Cougar defense. A little momentum. It has swung here in the 3rd quarter, Clay.
Oregon State hasn't converted a 3rd down here in the second half yet. They need the 32-yard line to keep this series alive. Marcus McMarion, who was so good in the first half, has been very quiet here since halftime. 3rd straight 3 and out for Oregon State. Frankie Luvu made that pass play very tough on McMarion.
Luvu off the edge. Excellent athlete. Fast, moves well. See him coming in, forcing the errant pass by Marcus McMarion, and another quick 3 and out for this Oregon State offense.
Looks like Falk is going to try and come back. Porebski, his 4th punt tonight, gets this one away clean. And it takes a nice roll for Oregon State inside the 30-yard line. Mike Leach shoot out his team in the first half. I think he did more of the same at halftime, and his players have started to respond. Let's go backstage. Our backstage pass. Washington State head coach Mike Leach. We're looking at his summer. How about these spots? The eccentric guy, you know, he's into pirates, conspiracy theories. He's a voracious reader, but he told us he didn't do any reading this summer. He toured the world. He was in places like Italy, Cuba, Hungary, Alaska. Quite a guy.
Not many college football coaches going to talk about the beautiful architecture in Cuba when you're getting ready for a game. But Mike Leach is one of a kind, one of the great coaches in college football.
Spent more time talking architecture than he did football on the phone with us this week. That defense for Oregon State makes a nice play there. James Williams on the stop.
Not just an eccentric guy, but also a quality coach. What he did there in Lubbock, what he's done in Pullman here at Washington State, and how he's gotten his offense, this football team, to really respond here on the road up against the ropes in the second half.
Falk looking comfortable, throws to the sideline for Martin. And that's going to be a catch for Tavares Martin. Right along the sideline, was able to stay in bounds. And it's a 1st down. Here's another look. Yeah, he got that right foot in.
Good concentration, gets the foot in.
The crowd doesn't think so, but it's too late. Play continues. Martin, another catch, and he'll get it across midfield. And Caleb Salo makes the tackle. You know, Washington State see what they did in the first half. Already 172 here in the second half. And they have completely shut down the Beavers.
This offense has come to life, and the defense responding. A lot of confidence in this Washington State team here in the third quarter.
Falk unleashes to the 40 complete, and it's Kyle Sweet. Washington State 3 touchdowns the last 4 possessions, and they're in rhythm again.
They picked the tempo up here in the second half, Clay. They found something and continue to keep the pedal to the metal.
Swinging it out, the running back Williams. He's got another first down after the catch. James Williams, give him 11.
Ball placed perfectly on the outside so that the running back can turn upfield, get plenty of yards after the catch. Good blocking out in front by the Cougar wide receivers.
Cougars who've been playing from behind all night. 3:45 to go here in the third. On first down, Falk sets to throw toward the end zone. That's Marks. He got it. Touchdown, Cougars. Boy, that guy's got some brass, I'll tell you. First lead of the game for Washington State.
Last series, he takes the big hit on the touchdown pass. Fantastic ball placed right over the shoulder of Gabe Marks. Defender has no chance to make a play on the football. You couldn't have dropped that in there any better than what Luke Falk just did. Big time play by the junior quarterback.
And Powell with the extra point. 28-24, first lead for Washington State. Remember, they fell behind 21-0 early in this ball game.
24-6 at the half, and boy, it's been all Cougars here in the third quarter. Oh, if this team just woke up and it was a speech from Mike Leach at halftime, I'm sure it was a speech from Mike Leach, but the way this team has responded, the effort they're playing with here in the second half, an adverse situation.
You know, with the success of Washington State the last 5 weeks, you know, the talk of a big-time bowl and maybe even a Rose Bowl, that talk has increased. But Mike Leach saying, hey, we're not talking about that. We're playing one game at a time. And I think at halftime he said, guys, let's play this one play at a time.
Right.
Falk 27 of 35, 351, 4 touchdown passes, 2 to that guy, Gabe Marks, the senior from Venice, California.
That second touchdown, he's now Washington State's all-time leader in touchdown receptions.
From the end zone, the return to the 30, and Bailey brought down at the 31. A penalty marker is down on the field.
During the return, holding on the receiving team, number 18. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, it started out the wrong way for Washington State. Leach rolls the dice, goes for a fake punt in his own territory. Nah, gets stopped. But the defense comes up with a big stop, forces a punt, and it's been all Luke Falk and the Washington State passing attack. 3 third-quarter passing touchdowns. The prayer here to Marks just comes down with it. And then one-on-one, man-to-man coverage. The receiver and the throw are better than the coverage. It's been all Cougars here in the third.
Last 5 drives, 4 touchdowns. Just the one time they turned it over on downs, and then that's when the defense really stood up. Kept Oregon State from adding to their lead at the time. Now Marcus McMaryion and the offense of the Beavers Get back to work. There's that drive chart. What a turn of events. And Falk now with his 20th 300-plus yard passing game. But most of it's been here in the second half. It's been a tale of two halves here tonight.
It's all starting to click for this Washington State offense. They're getting multiple receivers, running backs involved. And Oregon State defensively, their pass defense doesn't have an answer for the Cougars. It's a false start.
Wow. How many false starts have we seen tonight, especially against Oregon State?
False start, 73 offense. 5-yard penalty, Maine second down.
Well, that's the 10th penalty overall against the Beavers.
You know, one thing you wonder about, if you watch Washington State, they stem and move a lot right before the snap. They move their defensive line. I'm wondering if that's messing with the Oregon State offensive line. See them stem down the movement. Now, the defensive line, if they go forward and that guy moves, they're adjacent to him, well, then that's, you know, defense encroachment. But if you move laterally side to side, the offensive lineman can't move.
2nd and 11. McMarion got it to Knoll. He's got free reign along that sideline, still on his feet, and out close to midfield. Terrific speed, good hands for a guy that big. He is 6'2", 234. Gain of 41.
We knew about his ability to run the football, but catching it very well here tonight. But one of the best defenders on Washington State, Shalom Luani, he's got to make that play. Gamble, try to intercept it. He's just got to allow him to catch the football and make that tackle in the open field.
Beavers have had their share of big plays tonight. That's 5 now of 20 yards or more. Gets him to the 50-yard line. Good night for Knoll. Minute 45 to go here in the third. It is Knoll again trying to bounce to the outside. And that failed to click. It's a loss of 1 as Luani gets the tackle.
Well, Luani makes up for the mistake he made the previous play. The interior of the Washington State defensive line forced Knoll to bounce that. And you see the speed and athleticism by Luani out there making the play behind the line of scrimmage.
Were you impressed with this guy when we talked to him this week? I mean, he's a young up-and-coming coach, 35 years old. He's doing something right here.
Very impressed with him. Preaching effort, turnovers, saying all the right things, getting this defense to respond. Chatted with him down on the field before the game, and very impressive young defensive coordinator for Washington State.
Getting some pressure on McMarion. Ooh, that was touched by the defender Thompson, intended for Seth Collins. Jalen Thompson nearly jumped that.
And the receiver turns, couldn't locate the football. Jalen Thompson barreling down, forces the incompletion, but unable to come away with the turnover. I'm impressed with this freshman safety, true freshman out of California, Jalen Thompson, all over the field tonight, making plays for this Cougar defense.
Oregon State started out all right tonight on 3rd down, but they haven't converted once this half. They need 11 to keep the drive going. Slant, incomplete. Collins, the intended receiver, again well covered. That time it was Trayshawn Broughton in the secondary.
Tight coverage, as you mentioned. Try to fit the slant into Bolden. Good tight coverage. And Broughton brings the left hand, forces the pass breakup. Washington State defensively, again, they give up a big play, but they force another Oregon State punt.
4 straight punts this half for the Beavers. Nick Perebski gets it off. Caleb Fossum calling for the fair catch. And it'll be a long field for Washington State, but you get the feeling that this offense can handle about anything thrown at them right now. Well, kick off week 8 of the NFL with NFL Insider Sunday edition at 10 a.m. on ESPN. Then at 11, Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Snickers. Seattle tight end Jimmy Graham returning to New Orleans for the first time as a Seattle Seahawk. Drew Brees even said it's going to be a little weird seeing my good buddy on the other side.
You think the crowd's going to give him some boos?
That'd be interesting. I don't know if it'll be a terrible reception. But if he catches a touchdown and dunks it over the goalpost, there may be some moves.
No question. He will not be happy in the Big Easy.
There's Williams on the carry. Under a half-minute to go here in the third. What a half. And we still have a quarter to go. It has been for Washington State. They have outscored Oregon State 28-3. After falling behind 21 rip. There's Marks, another catch with 5 seconds to go in the quarter.
He's done such a good job keeping their feet in bounds. How many plays have we seen right there? And another nice job by Gabe Marks catching the football and getting that foot in bounds for the catch.
Period.
.245 yards of offense in that quarter for Washington State. The Cougars have come back looking for their first 5-0 Pac-12 start since 2002. We've got a fourth quarter ahead here in Corvallis. You know, he looks mad, but I don't think Mike Leach is too angry with that third quarter. Look at this. 235 yards of total offense in the third quarter alone. They have scored 28 points to 3 since falling behind.
I think that was, it's safe to say that was a quarter dominated by Washington State.
Now, it was 21-0.
Yeah.
Oregon State at one point. Now Falk and the Cougars offense going back to work. There's a marker as he shuffles out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
It's like we get a hold.
This guy's been an inspiration for his team.
Offense number 23. 10-yard penalty. Mains first down.
That's on Wicks, the running back. But Luke Falk, you know, he's been banged up. He took some hard hits last week, too. But this guy is a bona fide leader.
He's a leader. He's tough. Picks himself up off the pavement. The former walk-on, Mike Leach, said the best walk-on he's ever coached. It's coming up huge for this Cougar football team here in the second half.
Even Gary Anderson on the other side knows him very well, going back to when he was in high school. He has a lot of appreciation for Falk's ability. Little shovel pass there to Williams. Had a little daylight. Back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a yard more before Moore brings him down. Falk played high school football at Logan High School with Gary Anderson's twin sons, Chasen and Hagen, when Gary was at Utah State. They even won a state title there.
It's a very cool story. Still very good friends with Luke Falk. And I was reading today that the kids said that they hope that Falk could throw for 500 yards and the game could end in a tie, because they got to root for Dad, but they also got to root for their former teammate and really good friend.
River Craycraft nearly was able to make that catch, got a hand on it, but it's incomplete. 3rd down and 9.
It's just interesting to hear Gary Anderson talk about how Luke Falk used to come over his house, play video games, running around, and here he is now trying to beat the quarterback.
You have mentioned that he's a walk-on. That was a kind of a fluke. Got lost in the shuffle and ended up at Washington State. Big coup for the Cougars. 3rd down and 9. Pressure comes, picked up. Ooh, could have been caught, but it's incomplete. John Thompson can't keep the drive alive. And Washington State, one of the few times here since halftime, has to walk off, and they're going to punt.
You see him walk off there, it looked more like a limp. You can tell clearly Luke Falk not at 100%. Go back to the 2nd down throw. Watch him after he throws it. He's kind of hobbling around, limping around. And clearly, even though he's not 100%, he's still going to go out there and fight for his football team.
Kyle Sweet. And that wasn't a rugby-style kick. Got it to the 45-yard line of Oregon State.
ESPN College Football is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Cool tradition here in Corvallis. The band on Friday nights goes out to the local establishments and puts on a show. That's the Flat Tail Brewery from last night. And I love the band tonight playing 1940s music. Again, they're honoring the 75th anniversary of the Rose Bowl championship team here at Oregon State. That was the year that the Rose Bowl wasn't played in Pasadena. It was played at Duke's Stadium in Durham, North Carolina. They beat Duke. They had 40s music, a little Benny Goodman at halftime. It was great. Oregon State, the pass incomplete from McMarion, intended for Bolden. Wallace Wade Stadium as it's known now. Wallace Wade was actually the head coach at Duke at the time. Again, World War II underway. Pearl Harbor had happened just days earlier, a couple weeks before this January 1st game. And they moved the event to the East Coast because they were afraid of another Japanese attack. Tremendous story. The battle gray helmets tonight of Oregon State. They had a 21-0 lead at one point. Now it's 28-24 Washington State. The helmets that Duke will wear next week against Virginia Tech look like this.
Like that gunmetal gray.
Battleship
gray. It's a good look. A little Triton on there for the Blue Devil.
Yeah.
I think it's sharp. I do too. I think it's a really good look.
Yeah, some of the folks on Twitter and tweeting about how they like him. Maybe they'll keep him around. Who knows? 3rd down and 7. McMarion started out very effectively. He'll go to the air here, and he has cooled way down. This will be the 5th punt this half for Oregon State. Travon Bradford, the intended receiver.
Washington State does not bring pressure, just rush 3. They elect to drop 8. McMarion off target on his throw. Forces another Beavers punt here in the second half. He came out on fire, Clay. He was making all the throws. His receivers were coming down with grabs, and man, has he been off target here in the second.
Is it more Oregon State or is it more Washington State that's changed this thing?
I think it's both.
Oh, mistake here, and the Beavers capitalize.
It's not going to hold as a touchdown. You can't advance the fumble, but Oregon State will take possession of this ball.
Andre Bowden of Oregon State recovered, and that was just a
Ruling on the field is that the punt was touched, recovered by Oregon State. By rule, it cannot be advanced. 1st down.
That was just a terrible mistake by Caleb Fossum. He misjudged that fly ball. It drifted on him.
He was not in good position. He was retreating, going back. And Marcus McMarion, he likes it. He says, we got new life.
What a gift.
Hey, turnovers, special teams. When we talked to Gary Anderson yesterday, what did he say? We got to be great in the special teams. Special teams right there comes up with a big play.
Second Washington State turnover tonight. 1st down, goal to go, Oregon State. Nall is in the backfield with McMarion. Bolden went in motion. And touchdown Beavers. Ryan Nall, his 3rd touchdown tonight.
Well, Ryan Nall was not going to be denied on that one. Had a nose for the end zone. Just kept churning the legs. And Oregon State back on top here in the 4th quarter.
Left guard Gus Lavaca injured on the play for the Beavers. He's been starting the last few weeks as a true freshman. Their other left guard, Fred Lawina, the senior, he's also been hurt. That's why he's been out of action. We've talked about the injury problems for the Beavers, and another man down on the field. But Oregon State regains the lead after a 28-3 run by Washington State.
And that's now if the extra point goes in, that's 14 points now for turnovers. Remember, go back to the first half. The Craycraft fumble. They turned that into a touchdown. 7 Oregon State points. And here again, after the muff punt, Ryan Nall, good patience. 62 Gavin Andrews opens up a hole there in the middle. And the wrecking Nall lowers the shoulder, turns the legs, and he finds pay dirt.
Again, it was going to be hard enough to stop Nall and the other running backs for Oregon State tonight, but especially without Robert Barber, again, their nose tackle. Now effectively his career is over. He's suspended. He's putting some weight on it. That's a good thing to see. Lavaca making his way to the sideline.
Hope Lavaka's okay. He gets rolled up on. Hercules Mataafa. His lower body gets slung into Lavaca. Here's Lavaca here. C-50 Hercules comes by.
Oh, that looks painful.
Hopefully he's okay.
That ever happened to you?
Get rolled up on? Yes.
More than once, I take it from that response. Extra point is good. As you mentioned, Dusty, 14 points on turnovers tonight for the Beavers.
Well, it was all Washington State until this. A muff punt. Oregon State jumps on it. And the wrecking Nall finds the end zone. Beavers up on top.
That's 7 Eastern with Reese and the guys breaking down the first ranking of the year in the college football playoff ranking. We're going to get coaches' reactions as well as a live interview with the committee chairman, Kirby Hocutt. Washington goes to 5-0 in the conference, 8-0 overall. Road test Saturday. They had a great test today in Salt Lake City, and they passed it.
Huge punt return today by Pettis. Game-winning touchdown there with about 3 minutes to play. They were tested. They found a way to win. Jake Browning, quarterback, continues to play well. Miles Gaskin, the running back, had a huge day there in Utah. I'll tell you what, this Washington State team, Clay,
that's a penalty.
They think that they can play with anybody in this league.
Yeah.
And, last game of the year, they do catch Washington up in Pullman.
The Apple Cup, November 25th. That could decide the Pac-12 North. Kicked it out of bounds, so better field position coming up. There's the Pac-12 South. And Utah goes to 4-2. Colorado also ahead for Washington State the week before they play Washington. That's going to be a tough challenge. And, for Colorado, a Pac-12 South division title could be on the line.
Turnaround in Colorado.
Yes.
I mean, most people had kind of left them from dead. And here they are this year, been playing outstanding, getting good quarterback play. And really one of the surprises, not just in the Pac-12, but in all college football. Pac-12 South seems a little bit more of an open race than the North. Kind of feels like in the North, you've got it down to Washington, Washington State. In the South, you got several teams that will be fighting for that to the bitter end.
The last time that Washington and Washington State started 5-0, both started 5-0 in the Pac-12, 1997. And Washington's taking care of business today. Now Washington State trying to do the same. Kicked out of bounds, then a personal foul as well. They spotted at the 20 to start this series. Washington State will throw on first down, complete to Tavares Martin. Here's the 15-yard penalty against the Cougars. Colton Teglovic, backup safety. That 15-yard personal foul, negating what would have been pretty good field position for Washington State. After the 17-yard pass play, That is out of bounds, caught by Craycraft, but Craycraft is out of bounds.
And Luke Falk slow to get up once again. His offensive lineman helping him out, efforting him up. Get another deep out outside the numbers, and the ball just kind of floats high on Luke Falk.
Now that special teams mistake took some of the air out of Washington State. Their second special teams gaffe tonight. Trying to get it back.
We're going to take a look at this catch.
River Craycraft, very good receiver. Maybe he was in bounds. Certainly worth another look.
Wow, just great effort. Craycraft fully extended, and he drags the toe. Wow, that's outstanding.
What a great play.
That's great concentration on the football, knowing exactly where the sideline is. Full extension with the leg, but he drags the toe just on his way out.
So you think they overturn this?
I don't see how they don't.
No.
The black rubber, the tire treads come up from the foot. Catch. His left foot hasn't hit. Touch right there. That's a catch. Wow. That could be a SportsCenter top 10 right there. That's great concentration and awareness of where the sidelines are. We've seen this time and time again tonight from these Washington State wide receivers. And yeah, no question.
Fourth catch, if it is indeed a catch for Craycraft tonight. You know, we talked about Leach, and he's always got one of those great inside receivers. This is the latest in a long line.
I thought that he overthrew the wide receiver. I thought that ball was out of bounds, and Craycraft wasn't able to keep his body in. Man. I'll be intrigued to see what happens with him at the next level. You know, he plays that slot position that is so integral in these Mike Leach offenses. You've seen guys like Wes Welker and Danny Amendola when he was there at Texas Tech. But those are smaller guys, you know, 5'8", 5'9", possession receivers. He's in the 6-foot, 200-pound mold, but he serves the exact same role in this offense. And we've seen the fearlessness, his ability to catch the football, little acrobatic move right there, keeping the toe in. I think this guy's got a legitimate chance to play at the next level.
Marks and Craycraft, first set of teammates, each with over 200 career catches in Pac-12 history. Guys like this don't come along very often. Washington State has been very lucky. Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field is a catch. The ball will be placed at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10.
You're right. Yep. 12-yard reception for Craycraft, and we will make this a SportsCenter top 10 nominee.
They talked about giving purposeful effort. That right there is just doing whatever you got to do to make a play.
Backing up, Falk got it off short to James Williams. He's got a first down inside the 40. Trying to stay on his feet. He spun back. And another marker on the field. Back at the 47-yard line. These officials have just been busy tonight.
A lot of reviews. Flags.
There's no foul for illegal man downfield. The ball did not cross the line of scrimmage.
Hey, we'll take that. No penalty after all. It's a 13-yard pickup. Washington State back in Beaver territory.
Well, they set up the running back screen. They bring the linebacker on a blitz from depth, and it's set up perfectly out in the open field to James Williams. Follows his blockers. A nice pickup there on first down.
Falk sends 3 receivers to the far side. Marks to the right, but it's a run. Williams gashing a hole up the middle. First down and more. Gets inside the 25-yard line. That's 14.
We see her on back-to-back plays, how they utilize these running backs. But that play right there, I think that really shows the difference in this Washington State team and past Washington State teams. The ability late in games to run the football between the tackles. They haven't had it around here, and that's something they've excelled at this year behind that veteran offensive line.
1st and 10. They run it again. Right up the middle, Williams. Wow, dancing his way inside the 5. Back-to-back terrific runs. That time 20 yards, 1st down, goal to go.
Good blocking inside, and you see the spin. Jalen Moore tries to hit him. A nice spin move.
Again on the ground. And it's Williams for a couple more. Remember, against the run, Oregon State 114th in the country coming into the weekend, allowing well over 200 yards per game. Washington State is going at their Achilles heel late in this ballgame.
17 rushing touchdowns this year. Something tells me looking to make it 18.
It's Williams again in the backfield with Falk. He'll shift sides, 7th play of the drive. Falk will throw. That's what they wanted. Doesn't matter how it happens. It's a touchdown, Robert Lewis. And Washington State regains the lead.
Excellent answer right there by Washington State. And you saw everything in their arsenal right there. Throwing the football down the field, getting the running backs involved in the screens, running the football between the tackles, and then Luke Falk delivering the football on time and on target for a Cougar touchdown. What an answer by Washington State.
35-31. The lead is 4 for Washington State. Remember the catch by River Craycraft that was originally ruled incomplete, overturned. This play kept the drive going, and then the run game taking it over, getting it on the doorstep. And they capped the drive with a pretty pass. And Robert Lewis with his first touchdown catch of the year. Luke Falk has been good tonight. Cougars lead by 4. Monday Night Football. Vikings and Bears should be entertaining in the NFC North. Monday Night Countdown starts us off with 6 p.m. airing, served by Applebee's. Vikings trying to bounce back from a loss to Philadelphia last week. So Washington State goes back in front. Our 3rd lead change of the game. They've all been in this half. On the return, it's Artavis Pierce. And Oregon State will go back to work on offense. Let's break it down for you. First half compared to the second half. And the yardage for Washington State in particular, it's been amazing. Oregon State came out like a house of fire, nearly 400 yards in the first half. That Washington State run game, though, Dusty, was very good on that last series.
This is how they've been able to put games away in 4th quarters, and we saw it on that drive right there. The willingness to run the football with James Williams, lean on that offensive line has been huge for this Washington State football team. We saw it there on that last drive.
This is Ryan Nall, 3-touchdown night. And the tackling there for Washington State leaving something to be desired. Second down and 2.
Shalom Luani, 18. Thought he had set the edge. He's got to make that tackle. Ryan Nall gets the edge and gets a nice gain on 1st down. He's got to keep outside leverage, keep that outside arm free, either make the tackle or force the running back into his help.
Close to 200 all-purpose for Nall tonight. See if he gets it again on 2nd and 2. You bet. And he's going to will his way to a Oregon State 1st down. Ryan Nall, that 89-yard touchdown run in the 1st quarter. He had a 19-yard touchdown reception. And a 3-yard touchdown run, and accounts for his scoring tonight. It was just the 2nd first down of the half for Oregon State. Down by 4 as we approach the 9-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Marcus McMaryion has time to throw, heaves it deep to the near sideline. Another pass interference. Victor Bolden drew a flag as Darian Moulton got in there a little too early.
Pass interference, defense number 3. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's the second PI on him.
Yeah, Moulton gets a little turned around. Contact before the ball's there. Marcus McMaryion likes it. You know, Washington State walked the safety down into the box on that side of the field. McMaryion saw that, knew he had one-on-one coverage with Victor Bolden, took his shot, and gets rewarded with a pass interference call.
There's defensive coordinator Alex Grinch looking on. What a great name for a defensive coordinator. And it's Nall again. Nothing. Washington State was ready that time. Shalom Luani and some help from his friends making the stop. Second down. This is a big defensive series for Washington State. Big offensive series for Oregon State. You get the feeling that the game could hinge right here on this possession.
It's been back and forth last couple of possessions. Oregon State took the lead. Washington State went right back down. And I'm with you. Huge drive right here for the Beavers. And at some point, Marcus McMaryion is going to have to complete some footballs down the field.
The third string quarterback. At least that's what he was a couple of weeks ago before injuries put him in this spot. Looks to the outside, and that should have been caught. Incomplete. Travon Bradford, the freshman, couldn't make the catch. So now it's third down and 10.
Pass behind him a little bit. He puts it on point. That's an easy pitch and catch. Third and long again. A down Oregon State did not want to be in. They have not thrived in here tonight. Washington State has not elected to bring much pressure here in the second half. They've been playing more coverage, forcing McMaryion to read out the defenses.
There's the third down passing. They'd have the one touchdown throw, but they're 0 for 5 on third down in the half. Bradford goes in motion. McMaryion looks to the flat. It's Pierce, makes the catch. And looking for some room, but he stopped about 1.5 yards short. Is it close enough to go, Dusty?
Yes. Yes, this is go time, unless they feel they can get a field goal. But I think right here, given where you're at in your season, Gary Anderson, it's go time, no question.
Yep. Keeping the offense out there. Gary Anderson, year 2 of his rebuilding project here in Corvallis.
You got a guy like Ryan Nall in the backfield. You best believe they're going for it here on fourth down.
The wrecking Nall checking back in. 2 tight ends to the near side. Oh, and this play is stopped before it starts. Another false start.
False start. 82 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains fourth down.
Tuli Wiley-Mutongi, the tight end. Just raised his rear end a bit.
This lateral movement, this stemming by the Washington State defensive line pre-snap, which is completely legal, and they do it almost every play. It has clearly affected the illegal procedures by Oregon State here tonight. That's inexcusable. And boy, Gary Anderson's going to have to give his team an earful for shooting themselves in the foot pre-snap here this evening.
So instead of being able to go for it on 4th and short, they're going to go to punt formation and attempt a fake, and they will not get it. Washington State was ready for it. Cook was dropped by a host of tacklers.
You know, it's easy to say after the fact, but I just don't really like that call. You know, Washington State's going to be playing punt safe. You know that they're going to be looking for the fake in this spot. And clearly they were ready to defend it. And it gives Washington State the football back.
And they're trying to do it quickly, too.
Not even a punt safe. I mean, it looks like they're just playing defense here.
That's just a great heads-up play by Isaac Dotson, the weak side linebacker on punt return team, to make that stop. Incomplete pass there, Falk to Williams. So second down and 10 as Washington State has the ball back. We're under 7 minutes to go. Cougars leading by 4.
Elect to throw the football in the flats there on first down with James Williams, which is really just an extension of the run. But to me, this is what we've been talking about all night. This is a point in the game where you put the game away by running the football.
And Washington State throughout the course of the season has proven that they can do it. This isn't the air raid of a few years ago for Washington State. They're doing more of this. Jamal Morrow runs into the line, keeps churning. He'll get a positive pickup of 3 yards. You know, the run game in particular against Oregon earlier in the year, Dusty, they had 280 on the ground. Does that sound like a Washington State Mike Leach team?
No, it doesn't. But you know what? They're going to take what the defense gives them. And when he got here, they were undersized and not physical enough on the offensive line. They put in the work. They've changed the mindset. They bulked this offensive line up. And they feel that they can go toe-to-toe and play physical football with just about anybody when they have to. Free play.
Oregon State offside. Falk to Gabe Marks. And he almost came up with the catch at the 25-yard line. And Falk is going to have to be helped up again. Boy, he has just been a punching bag tonight.
He took a shot as he delivered this throw.
Free play, and they almost converted.
They did. You know, Gabe Marks been so good tonight. He's going to be kicking himself tomorrow. That could have been 6 if he holds on to it and see the shot afterwards. Luke Falk, you mentioned he's been a punching bag. He's taken some shots, but every time picks himself up off the pavement and comes back fighting for more.
So after the penalty, 3rd and short, would they run it here?
Run it, or you got to think River Craycraft, his type of area.
They will throw. And intended for Marks. He was draped by Caleb Salo. No penalty flag. 4th down and 2. And now a decision for Mike Leach.
No decision in my opinion. You punt this football. Your defense has played extremely well here in the second half. But you know what? That's why I'm not Mike Leach.
Mike
and
Leach
sometimes you can't explain exactly what's going through his mind. And
who can?
He's going to roll the dice and he's going to go for it. Only Mike Leach, I'd say, in situations like this.
Passing all the way. Incomplete. Craycraft couldn't get it. And Oregon State takes over in Washington State territory.
He's a gambler. I get it. I just don't understand the call right there. Your defense has played lights out. You could punt it, make them drive the length of the field. But instead, Oregon State going to get the ball back after a big stop on 4th down. We got a good one here in Corvallis late in the 4th.
Well, Tuesday at 7 on ESPN. Don't forget to turn in for that first college football playoff reveal. Reese Davis and the guys will break it down. 7 Eastern on ESPN. After a turnover on downs by Washington State after Mike Leach gambled, Cougars come up empty. Now the Beavers have a chance. With under 6 minutes to go, Marcus McMaryion out of the pocket, got rid of it. Short pickup for Travon Bradford, the receiver. Let's go back to the 4th down decision.
4th and 2 from the 43, and Mike Leach goes for it. I respect Mike Leach, and I appreciate that he stays true to who he is, but in that situation, you've got to punt the football. You're really putting your defense's backs up against a wall in a place like that, but that's Mike Leach, and that's what he does. Not what I would do, not what most coaches would do, but you know what, Mike Leach, we've seen that time and time again from him.
Always unconventional. That's a pass that is caught by Timmy Hernandez. We have not called his name much tonight. See where they spot this. Just short of the 1st down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 1 for Oregon State with just over 5 to go. Both teams have their full complement of timeouts. Oregon State has not converted a 3rd down in the second half.
Gary Anderson, the crowd, not happy with the spot there, Clay.
Knoll hitting the backfield. The Cougars force a 4th down. That's Nalu Tapa, who's stepped up tonight in the absence of Robert Barber, the nose tackle.
Nice play by the big man, Nalu Tapa. All 320 pounds of him.
Now Gary Anderson with a tough decision, Dusty.
Think that you're coming from behind and where you're out on the field, kind of in no man's land from a field goal standpoint. We talked to them, the kick line's the 30. They can't kick a field goal, so I think this is a no-brainer. You go for it here.
Play clock inside of 5. McMarion out of the gun. They want to run it to Knoll. He's hit again. Still churning. Still churning. Oh, my. He made that close.
Wow.
What an effort by Ryan Knoll. And again, it depends on the spot. The yellow line is not official.
We'll be bringing the sticks out for this one.
He did not get a great spot, it doesn't appear.
It's going to be right at it.
Michael Batlin, the lead referee, waving out the chains. What an effort, though. He was hit several times, but nobody could stop that baby bull.
Look at the quarterback, Marcus McMarion, dragging him across. You saw the initial surge from Hercules Mataafa. Then you see Pelluer, a whole host of Washington State defenders. No one can bring him down. Let's see what it is.
This is huge.
Wow.
Cougars football. Back-to-back series. Teams going for it on 4th down. Both times they can't convert and keep the drive alive.
What a stop right there by Washington State. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. We've talked about this improved Washington State offensive and defensive lines, their ability to stop the run, something they couldn't do previously. This 4th quarter has been a perfect example of the improvements now going on for the Washington State Cougars. You see the penetration by Hercules, Pelluer, all the Washington State defenders getting there and getting him down and forcing the stop. You know, maybe Mike Leach, he elected to call the fake punt from inside his own 30 early in the 3rd quarter, opening possession. And what does his defense do? Comes out, gets a sack, forces a punt, gets his offense the ball back. He goes for it right there. Maybe he just believes in his defense.
He should after this play. I mean, what a great effort.
Great effort.
To finally bring Ryan Knoll down, who was almost impossible to bring down. Oregon State is challenging the spot.
I think that what you need to pay attention to is where the football is. Ryan Knoll's helmet and his shoulder pads are ahead of the 1st down marker, but the ball is back behind him. That ball never gets past that yard line. This is a correct call by the officials. There's nothing there that we see that is indisputable evidence that's going to overturn this call. Because when you watch where the ball is, it's down below. Shoulders, helmet, that's in front of the 1st down marker. But that ball's back behind. That's a stop for the Cougar defense.
And because the Washington State defenders were trying to strip Knoll of the ball, he wasn't able to pull that up over the top of his helmet and lunge for the 1st down marker.
That's exactly right.
That was Shalom Luani, who was all over that football trying to dig it free.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. 1st down, Washington State. The charge timeout to Oregon State. That's their first. And it's the last challenge of the game for Oregon State.
Tell you what, Mike Leach might want to buy that defensive line and Coach Grinch something really nice for Christmas. Because, boy, they've bailed him out now twice with 2 very questionable calls, rolling the dice. The Washington State defense comes up with a huge stop for the 2nd time here in the 2nd half.
Now, you and Leach go way back to your playing days. After the game, when you talk to him, I bet he's going to say, what are you talking about?
I always do that.
What are you talking about? Those weren't risky plays. So the Cougars now trying to burn up some clock with their run game and give it to Jamal Morrow. He gets a couple, maybe 3. Second down coming up. 3.5 to go. Washington State with the win becomes bowl eligible. Stays perfect in the Pac-12. They'll be 5-0 if they can hang on for the first time since 2002.
Still got a long way to go here.
Don't put the cart before the horse the way this is going. Falk flushed out. Slides. Oh, and he takes a hard hit. Oh, my. Falk was giving himself up. Ugwoegbu and Salo leveled him. And Falk is looking at his knee. Remember, a sliding ball carry, defenseless player giving himself up, and sliding feet first cannot be hit, which Falk was definitely doing. There might even be a targeting call there too.
I think that there will be, Clay. Clearly contact above the shoulder and head region. Ugwoegbu trying to make a play, but this is a point of emphasis this year. When a runner gives themselves up, you cannot contact them. And it clearly looks like not only contacted him.
Personal foul, targeting number 35 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. The prior play is under further review.
So Ugwoegbu right now on the hook for targeting. The outside linebacker for Oregon State.
They called it on 35. Caleb Salo. But I think you're right. I think this should go on 47.
Yeah.
I think it's a mistake by the official calling the wrong number.
Again, what is targeting? Forcible contact with the crown of the helmet or striking a defenseless player at the head or neck with the helmet, fist, forearm, elbow, or shoulder. And when in question, it is a foul. The player will be ejected. I just don't think there's any question that this is going to be a targeting penalty against Ugwoegbu right there.
It doesn't have to be helmet-to-helmet contact to be targeting, but clearly that is helmet-to-helmet contact. This is, I'm with you. This is going to stand.
And on top of that, Falk had gone into the defenseless position.
The 15-yard penalty, automatic first down, and number 47 is disqualified.
And Ugwoegbu will also be out for the first half of the next game at Stanford.
Ugwoegbu, that's a big loss for Oregon State's defense.
No question.
Next week against Stanford. The sophomore really coming into his own this year. Excellent player off the edge, but
really their best playmaker on defense.
He is. Getting to the quarterback, playing on the other side of the football. And not only do you now lose a defender, Clay, it's a first down for Washington State and the clock with 3 minutes left.
Right.
And the field position, they got the ball now up close to the 50.
111 yards in penalties tonight for Oregon State.
I don't know if any more costly than that one right there.
In the backfield, it is Jamal Morrow running for a first down. One or two more of those kind of plays and it'll be lights out. Oregon State. They do have a couple of timeouts left. The time is not on their side right now. Down 4. Oregon State has forced 2 Washington State turnovers tonight. That would come in handy right now for the Beavers.
But again, to me, this is where Washington State, the new look Washington State with the ability to run the football, ices the game away in spots like this. Something they couldn't do previously, but they've done great this year.
And it is a run for Morrow. Finds room, hurdles a defender, ball comes out. But fortunately for the junior Jamal Morrow, it goes out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup. And it stays in the Cougars' possession.
You see the look on Morrow's face there? Boy, fortunate that ball goes out. You see him go up. Nice hurdle.
Salo, yeah, popped it loose.
Nice job popping the ball out. Ball goes out of bounds. Washington State will remain with the football.
That was the 21st running play tonight for Washington State.
But they had 5 in the first half.
Right.
And I was surprised that they didn't get into it much. They threw it 25 times in the first half. They ran it 5. They've been more balanced. They've been a lot more effective on the ground here in the second half of this game.
That's another first down on the ground as Williams will move the chains down to the 20-yard line. And we'll see if Oregon State uses a timeout after that 14-yard pickup. And yes, Gary Anderson with 1 timeout remaining now. Mike Leach and his teams, when his offense gives him something on the ground, specifically recently, it's very impressive. 90 or more since coming to Washington State. His team's 11-4.
And 51-14 back at Texas Tech. And again, if they're able to put this game away with under 2 minutes to play, chalk another one up in the 90-plus yard category because they're at 132 here tonight. And for me, what's the most impressive is when they've done it. Here in the fourth quarter, when it matters the most, leaning on that offensive line, trusting those running backs. Riley Sorensen, the center. Eduardo Middleton, the right guard. Cole Madison, that right side intact from last year, the veteran group. Cody O'Connell. We've seen B.J. Salmonson both play at the left guard. Andre Dillard has been outstanding. These guys really done a good job this game and this season by making this Mike Leach Washington State offense not just a passing attack, but a well-balanced attack.
Trying to salt this game away and go to 5-0 in the Pac-12 and get to bowl eligibility. Gerard Wicks. You know, the bowl trip last year resulted in a win over Miami. They got 9 wins total. There are a lot of people that think that maybe this is a Rose Bowl team, Washington State, as Oregon State takes their final timeout with 1:39 to go. I mean, you know, we're talking about the buildup to that Apple Cup game with Washington coming up later in November. That's going to be terrific. Could decide who wins the Pac-12 North. They want game day to come to Pullman. Maybe they will for that Apple Cup game. Who knows? But how about a Rose Bowl trip as a possibility for the Cougars in 2017?
When you sit here undefeated in Pac-12 play, it's got to be a possibility, and it's becoming something these guys are believing they can go do. When you got a veteran quarterback like that, and Luke Falk, who's tough, hard-nosed, and just leads this football team on and off the field, they feel like they can go play anybody and beat them. So it's going to be a fun race down the stretch here in the Pac-12 and see exactly what this Washington State football team can do.
Second down and 8. Williams going to burn some time off this play clock as we have 90 seconds to go. Washington State scheduled the last 4 games. Arizona, Cal at home. Then a tough trip to Boulder. And of course, the in-state rivalry game against the Huskies, who have been terrific.
And I think that's the key. The schedule sets up so well for them. 3 of the last 4 in Pullman. The next 2 extremely winnable. It's going to be tough in Boulder. And man, oh man, gear up and get ready. That last one against Washington there in Pullman, it's going to be a fun venue for college football.
Gerard Wicks. And now it's 4th down. So now kind of an interesting situation here. 4th down and 5. They're going to have to run a play.
I go for it.
How does he handle it here?
I think I go for it because think about how many times we've seen block kicks. Something go wrong on a field goal. If you don't get it, they've got to go 85 yards, and field goal doesn't get it done. They got to score a touchdown. So I'm guessing they're going to take it down, call a timeout, and then they're going to try to go for it and get the first down.
And there'll be 9 seconds left, or right about there. There's a 9-second differential. Pac-12 North, Washington 5-0 after that 31-24 win in Salt Lake City earlier today. Game decided essentially on a punt return touchdown for the Huskies. Stanford, it hasn't been a good year for the Cardinal. California has holes in their game, certainly. And the Oregon teams, you just kind of left scratching your head about what kind of a down year it's been for the Beavers and the Ducks.
I think that's what's been so interesting about this division this year. The changing of the guards, if you will. The Oregon team's down, the Washington team's up. An impressive start for the state of Washington here inside of Big 12 play.
The last time the Cougars had a 6-game win streak, 2003.
Apologies, Pac-12 play.
They swing it to the outside with Gerard Wicks, and that's going to stop and turn it over on downs with 4 seconds to go. So Oregon State's going to have time for one desperation play. Coming up next, SportsCenter, recapping a amazing day in sports. The World Series going on, of course. We had road tests Saturday. We saw the road teams have a tough time, including these Washington State Huskies. Or excuse me, Washington State Cougars.
That's right.
I might get beat up walking out of here by Cougars fan for that one.
I mean, think about it. Clemson escapes Tallahassee with the narrow victory today. We're watching right here. Washington today in Utah takes a punt return with 3 minutes to play. A lot of close football games we saw today, and a lot of undefeateds that go down.
Last chance. They come short. A little flea flicker. And still alive. Ryan Nall is dumped at the 41, and that's going to do it. How about the comeback by Washington State, engineered by their junior quarterback Luke Falk. 5-0 start for Washington State in the Pac-12, the first time they've done that since 2002. They've got a 6-game winning streak. They are bowl eligible. Luke Falk now 6 career comeback wins. 5 have come on the road.
It's a character building win for the Washington State football team. Down 21 points on the road in Corvallis. They fight, they scrap, they claw, and they find a way to get a quality road win and stay undefeated inside of Pac-12 play.
Gary Anderson giving his props to Falk, a longtime friend. Coming up, SportsCenter. Jonathan and Max will recap the day for you. Mike Leach and the Cougars with the win, 35-31, spoiling homecoming for the Beavers here in Corvallis. Now let's take you to SportsCenter.